We're still...
It's the wrong camera, Adam.
Still working it out. Working out the kinks. You got Director Adam here. It's messing things up. I got our name keys up, though.
Yeah,
so hey.
Half of this is working. Good job.
It is like
everyone.
a cluster to run that. Hey. Welcome to Thursday.
Yeah.
Spicy, hot times in the weeks. How y'all doing out there?
I hope you are doing great. We are ready to hang out.
Heck yeah, we are.
Talk about a bunch of cool stuff. Like it's another jam-packed show. We got Game Boy stuff to talk about. We got games to play. Adam purchased a brand new game right before we got onto the show.
For you. Well, actually for this guy, but
yeah, I was highly suggestive of it, and then I was like, oh, it's not on sale like I thought it was. And he bucked up and bought it anyway.
So let's hope there's some goodness in this one. I'm hoping so. But
stick around.
Heck yeah! What's the name of it? Just get people
we're playing Jackbox Party Pack 5, which has one very particular game. I'm not even going to say what it is.
Okay.
You could Google it and
Figure it
probably
out.
find out. But we might be doing some fun.
or watch a past show. I think you talked
That's
about it.
true. Yeah, that's true. Or tune in last time.
Or watch the whole 3 hours of last time to figure it out. So, hey, who's out there? You want to sound off? Let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
It's always good to know who we're hanging out with. So, man, it feels like these weeks flew. But I almost forgot that this week was the show because last week it was such
4th of July,
4th of
right?
July,
It was like
hanging
on
out.
the Thursday in between.
Hey,
Self-mouse.
Self-mouse dancing around out there. Yeah, so I've been... Well, it's funny because I have streamed a bunch since last time. I've been doing a bunch of Dead Space streams.
Mm-hmm.
That's been fun. Hopefully you've been enjoying it. I think I did about 10 to 12 hours of streaming just on Dead Space, if you haven't seen that. So that was fun.
It's it must be quite the experience for you because you just sort of went through it, and so it's like fresh in your mind. So you don't have that thing where you say, "Oh, that's just how it looked." Yeah, that's how it's always looked. You know, I feel like I get that a lot when I go through video games and replay them, the up-resed versions of them. I'm always like, that's how it looked, and then I go back and I look and I go, "Oh my god, it looked awful before." But this one is good.
I thought it was great. Well, let's do a rundown of the show. I would just talk about a little bit of Dead Space in a second, though. I don't mind like giving a couple of heads up on it. I always thought it was really fun. Yeah.
So we're gonna do news stuff, like some cool, like basically one sort of big story about OpenAI that actually came out today. And then there's been like a bunch of fun little AI and new kind of efforts from a few different companies that I want to play with. We get to do hands-on stuff today. We have 3 of them actually.
Hands-on is always fun. And so I think the last couple shows you were working on some things and I tried to put the show together, and then this time Ryan's helped put the show together. So thank you. It's like It's a teamwork, co-hosted. That's what Double Drop Down's all about. We're double dropping down on you, I guess. If that's the thing.
I guess that could be an interpretation of the name of it. So then we're gonna do, we'll probably play our game. I don't know. Do you want to play at the halfway point? Do you want to play?
We will see where Jackbox Party Pack is coming in at some point tonight. So get ready with your Jackbox.tv.
That's right.
It's going to be important.
And then we're going to talk about the project. So our project, for those who don't know, is we're building a Game Boy game in GB Studio, and we have new things to show, new art, and new sort of stuff that we're going to talk about.
Totally stoked about the art. Last time, I think the last couple times we talked about it, I think we nailed it in. So some good reveals. If you've been in Discord, you may have already seen it, but we're going to show it off tonight. So good on you, Ryan. You did a great job. I just want to give you that props.
Well, and I've had a little bit more time, so I will have even more time coming up. So I'm excited. I'm excited for its direction.
And we got some feedback. So
I
know Stealth Mouse was saying something around, hey, what's the story about this game? And you even have one? And I was like, yeah, we do. And let's figure it out.
My son, we literally had a conversation the entire drive home from his work thing. Like, drove the entire time, almost the entire time, talked about it. And he only played a tiny bit of the new version. But he's played the previous versions.
Ooh, I want to hear that.
Yeah, he definitely. We were talking about the direction of it, and he was like, "Oh, it's definitely got to go this way, and you have to do these things to it." It was
That's
fun.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I've played a lot of Game Boy games in the last couple times, and it's funny because I feel like I should be streaming them, but I don't.
Sure.
And then I'm here, and I find myself playing the games. I beat a game that wasn't actually a Game Boy game, but it was an old arcade Aliens that was on the analog, and I just like sat there and I was like, oh, I want to mess around with this while this thing installs, and I played the entire thing and beat it.
Aliens, like from the movie property.
We're gonna play it. We should show it off because it's on the analog, and I want to test it. I want to show you your thing. Yeah, I think you would appreciate it. It took like 20 minutes, and it was on a platform, an arcade. An arcade one. So of course had to load it up with coins because it was one of those things, and then I was able to play it. So it was a fun thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Hey, thanks, Campy. What is up?
Campy.
And totally legal and cool is right. Hey, and I did this too, Ryan. I made sure that our little things
popped up
are doing that.
When stuff happened.
So Campy, I don't think you've been in chat before, but thanks for following us today.
Appreciate that.
Campy, if you have not joined the show, you are now with the Hangout with Adam and Ryan here, and tonight we are just hanging out. Yeah, there's a cheers. We get a follower. We get a cheers to you, sir, or ma'am, or whatever.
We're open.
It's all good. But no, thanks for joining us.
Do you see how much neon shit we have on right now? Of course we're fine with it. Whatever.
We're with whatever. No, but it's great. It's great to see that the channel is growing a bit. I've been having this conversation. We're 65 followers. We do this as a labor of love, but we love the interaction. Totally. We love when people are out here to hang out and see some of the cool stuff.
Totally. And have influence on the projects that we're doing, because we'd be doing these projects anyway. And but it's nice to have an audience and help put the direction to it.
I worked I watched JacksonRiley.cool a bunch, and met him on the stream a while ago in a makerspace, and so we've been hanging out too, and I've been just watching the stuff he did like almost a full day long stream on Blender, which was really fun to watch and just see his thought process. He's like, I'm learning it. I'm like, damn, bro, you were learning it really damn good, because you just seemingly know what you're doing all the way through. So that was awesome. A good time.
Nice.
Well, let me give my hot takes on Dead Space for a second, because I've been playing it.
So how far are you into the new Dead Space?
So I'm in chapter like 5 or 6. Okay. And so here's the thing: if you know me, Dead Space, one of my top tier games that I played, and it came out in 2008 on the Xbox. I think it was it the 360
original Xbox?
I think it was 360. And it looked amazing for the time. Yeah. Atmospheric, a great ways that they did audio. It's not about shooting in heads and dismembering these like alien things and finding this story.
Putting your hand out and getting the exact line of where you need to go next.
Love that. Ryan did. I remember he's like, why doesn't every game do
Every
this?
single game should have this. Oh my God. They absolutely should.
Oh, Campy is looking for a 3D printer because you're about oh my God.
Hey, Adam's about to buy a printer, Adam is in the market to buy a printer.
Totally. And so we didn't have that in the show, but you know what, Campy? Because you just followed us today. We're going to talk about it in a second. Let me get my two quick hot takes on Dead Space. Okay. I'll be brief. We'll go a little bit for you just on some 3D printers. And while we have this conversation, let us know what you're trying to 3D print. Give me some insights. That way we can kind of help guide you the right direction. Like, what are you looking to do with it? You want some FDM, so little filament printers? You want some resin printers? You want to spend some money on a fuse printer? I don't know. Let us know, and then we can help you out. Dead Space, though, Ryan, one of the things that I loved about it is that it opened the world to make you feel like you're on the ship. In the original one, it had that episodic kind of like, oh, you've made it to the tram. Everything's safe now. Yeah. Get on the tram and go to the next level. You can't go to the back to the next thing. Right. Now, you kind of like can get anywhere on the ship. You have to unlock certain doors, and you have to use the tram somewhat, but then you can find your way back. And then sometimes you have to like fly outside of the ship and get into places.
And this is different than the normal.
You couldn't do that in the one. Like the first one, you could fly in 0G and you can do some stuff, but you couldn't like be like, oh, I need to get to engineering, so I'm gonna fly outside of the ship and like get over to this part and come back into it. And it feels like open world.
Well, and it must like look amazing now, like all the effects,
atmospheric. Like, but they changed the story a little bit. Like, just enough. So here is one of my favorite new additions that I didn't know I would like or not. But in the old game, you would have to, like, you'd collect these nodes, and the nodes is to upgrade your software or up your hardware or whatever. And so you always had to keep one on you because you would get to a door and it'd be like, hey, guess what? You need a node to get in this door. And you were just like,
really?
oh,
You're like, I just spent
this.
I just spent that to upgrade, Adam's like original pistol that he has to use.
And so I was holding it the whole time.
Yeah.
And so then as I was walking through it, one of the neat things they do, I love the meow wolf, absolutely there. Hell yeah on the bamboo. But all right, so last point. So you walk into a space and now you have to make a decision. Do you turn off the air? Do you have to turn off the lights? Do you have to turn off this thing? So you're like, turn off the lights, and then you're in the dark and you have to navigate this part and you have to try to get to some things. And so it makes it like it's fun because you're like, well, maybe I'm just gonna turn off life support instead of lights this time because I want to see where I'm running.
God, and that like was a mechanic at all.
It was never.
Wow.
And so going back to the node part, you'd be like, the door is locked, and you're like, damn it. And then you like follow this little line, and you'd go to this thing. You're like, oh, I can turn on those doors and find.
Okay.
There's all these little secrets. There was this one room that was locked up, and I was like, how the hell do you get in there? And then I was like, wait, the window's cracked. And then I like peeked in, and I was like, oh, I can shoot that thing through this, and
that's how you're supposed to do it. That's like
you unlock a door.
Wow.
So the little secrets, and they have side quests now.
Nice.
So anyways, if you haven't played Dead Space, you want to watch it. It is amazing, atmospheric. Story is on point
because it was already a great game, and now just adding some more to it.
So my last little anecdote, just like in the last 10 seconds, is Callisto, the Callisto project, or what is it, Callisto something?
The ship, isn't
it? No, that was this Ishimura. There was another game made by the same people that made Dead Space, and they released this thing called the Callisto. I don't even know what it is.
Callisto
something.
Calypso project?
Calypso something. I think it is project. And it has the same mechanics, same kind of like feeling of Dead Space.
Calypso, yeah.
But it just like it bombed on the market. It seemed pretty good. I played it. It's real fun, but like they couldn't capture that sweet Dead Space like perfectness.
True.
And anyways, that was unscripted show talk here. Let's talk with Campy a little bit. Campy, thank you for hanging out with us.
Do you want to read? I didn't get to read his comment, or didn't know enough about that. You maybe read that comment, and we'll talk about.
I saw it. So it's like number one, Meow Wolf. Hell yeah! So there's
of course
many Meow Wolves.
It's like it's amazing.
How many have you been to? Have you been to all of them?
I know, right?
That's the question.
I have. I am missing. The Texas one. That's the only one I have.
Wait, there's a Vegas one, right?
Vegas,
Santa
Denver,
Fe?
and Santa Fe. And then
Texas.
there's like there's a Texas one now.
Oh, well, there was one in Denver, Six Flags.
Yeah. They have little like pop-up things or like little stuff in a few places.
Meow Wolf's amazing.
Totally.
So, okay, you're going to buy the Bamboo Labs A1 mini printer. What's your decision on that? Because we've been talking about this. It's actually in our Discord. Yeah. It's like the question between Bamboo or it's because I wanted the multi-filament printer. I want the one that has you can up to like what 4.
What were the 16? What were the two that you were
oh God,
comparing? Because one was definitely a Bamboo.
Yeah.
And the other one was some other brand.
It's Creality.
So and we put it through ChatGPT, and we were like, I was like, tell me the best one. Which one should I pick?
And clearly it was the Bamboo.
It was the Bamboo.
So you're on, but the difference was
Do you want to put that up?
Yeah, we can throw this up. Hold on, I'm messing with my layouts here. Let me see if I can get this. Did I get it? Oh, yeah.
Oh, but where are we? Okay,
there we are. We got to make ourselves
bigger.
a little bit bigger.
There we go.
Oh, and of course, close it up. So here we are in the Discord. So one of the first things that we had looked at is Creality is coming out, and I'm going to explain why Creality might be an option. Creality is probably the lesser of the options here, but you have this pre-order of this K2 Plus, and so I have a single filament printer. I probably shouldn't show you this because you're gonna get me if you want to buy this. Is they're gonna have this fire sale, and when is it? It's coming soon, where you get these discounts and you can buy it for a certain amount, but only a certain amount of them are gonna get purchased.
2 free gifts?
Yeah, I don't know.
What are the free gifts? I feel like.
So if I were to try to buy this right now. And it's like $1,400 at the thing. Yeah. Anyways, point being, this one was on my radar. I run a Creality in the back there. And the Creality itself has been great for me because I'm a tinkerer.
Yeah.
Oh, see? Santa Fe one is probably the best.
I like that one the best.
Denver is humongous. We live in Colorado. I don't know where you're at, but we can go up there. That one's big. I like it. It's just it's very huge, and the Santa Fe one just has that nice little.
Santa Fe one is very focused, which I feel like is cool.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But if we look at cameras and oh shoot, I took that off. I forgot. I don't have a camera of my 3D printer. You can look at my nozzle. There's the nozzle of my 3D printer. Just for the fun of it there.
Just for the fun. For funsies.
But as we go back to these printer options here, I like Creality because it's not a walled garden. I'm gonna try to be clear with my speech and not get all ridiculous. Hey, what's
Higgs.
up? Hey,
Higgs.
Higgs. So this one is nice because they kind of copied the other one that we were looking at, which was the Bamboo, which technically is 404 on that one.
Man,
good job. Good
job, Bamboo.
They're like, screw you. We're moving this because the Creality has come out with the other one. I'm sure we can quickly find it.
Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out.
Oh, got the peeper eyes. All right, so anyways, what do you want in a 3D printer? Here it is, the X1 Carbon 3D printer.
Do you like, I kind of like the non-closed box version, just the look.
Man, let's do it for looks, right? No, just kidding.
I mean, that's true.
For sure. When you say, Kylie, I'm going to take just like a little like sidebar for a second. When you say get out of there, like you work from home, right? So you're like, get out of the work side of your life, right?
Like, and out of and
like
stop
mentally get out of there,
stop
right?
having to think about that.
But getting to Campy, these were the ones we'd been currently looking at. So if you're going Bamboo, I can't say, but thumbs up to you because I've heard this is number one. It's an ecosystem. It's a walled garden, so just be aware of that. Meaning that everything that you do with it is going to have to be within that. Oh, sorry, you're in P West. Oh, geez, Kyla. Everything you do with this particular printer, you have to use their slicer. You have to use their kind of software. I think you can use your own filaments and pieces like that, but some of them, like if you got the multicolor one, have these little chips in it that you have to be aware of.
It's like those printer ink cartridges, huh?
But it's like the Apple. It's like the Apple of 3D printers. But here's the thing: everyone's like, it just works. You get this thing, you put it in your house.
I mean, there's a reason.
The damn thing.
It's like there's a reason that Apple products are popular, right? Is it just like it works how it's supposed to, and there is no drivers that you have to update and all the garbage that normally goes with that shit.
And it has some crazy stuff on it. And I know I'm talking about one that you might not be getting. So if you were gonna go to your particular one, which you said you were getting the Mini, right? So let's take a look.
Mini. Is Bamboo is that kind of? I feel like they are one of the top big players in this now, right?
I wouldn't say they're a big. No, they're not. They're like the indie.
Every time I hear about 3D printers, I'm always hearing like, "Oh, the best ones are these Bamboo ones,"
because they're really really good at doing like the print. Like you take it out and they're tuned in, and you set it up and it prints.
I love how utilitarian that one looks. That's my That's a.
It has 4 filaments, right?
That's great.
And cool. Does this one print carbon fiber? Okay, this is the 3. I don't know which one you're getting. There's the Mini, and then there was Okay, so that's the Mini. That is kind of cute.
So cute.
It's funny because it has like one. I don't know what that thing is.
That one's $350. That one's like
because it has the 4. It's like the 4 different types. So let's answer the question here because I feel like we've been dancing around this. But
stop dancing.
The cool thing about Bamboo is that it works out of the box. I've heard that they're very well made. Just be ready to be within their environment. What I've heard is if you need replacement parts, they're generally available, but there's not a lot of like additions and things that you can buy on the aftermarket to kind of modify your 3D printer if you're looking for it. So if you're getting into it, great. Jump into this kind of a printer. Creality is what I've been printing on for the last couple of years here.
That's this printer?
Crap load of tinkering. And that tinkering is what has been like a challenge because you have to I literally am tuning a screw just like a fraction of a turn.
Oh,
and that's what gets it to something. And so if we start to think about it that way, we got to be a little bit careful. So
I know this one has been a workhorse, man. I feel like it is really, I don't know if that's because of your tender loving care to it.
It is.
Or if it,
No, I mean why.
Yeah, you're like, it's a classic now. I feel like you need to donate this to an elementary school or something.
I gotta be completely candid when Kylie is on the call here or on the stream. Is Kylie, when you put the order in for those things, I knew it was gonna be a challenge, and I loved it. I loved having a challenge because I'm like, I don't know if this thing's gonna survive. So it took me a long time to like tune it in just right to kind of get everything like all.
Would that not have to be for a new printer?
If I got a Bamboo, you wouldn't have the noise. You would set it up. You'd print the damn thing.
I mean, but it's like here in the corner of your basement. Who gives a crap about the noise? Does it just like sort of go and print? Because I know how much time that it takes.
I have to level it every time. Like I had to learn the thing. There are little like nuances where if I run it past 14 hours, I know exactly how many turns I have to re-level it at. The right-hand side slowly goes to that. You're not making it troublesome. I didn't want to make it that way, Kylie.
No,
I swear.
Anything that gets printed on that is basically basically like it goes through this process, right? Well, and is that because it's a how many years old? 7 or 5-year-old printer?
I think we got ads on. I don't know if we have ads on at the moment. I can't tell. Let us know if you're just following and have ads.
I tried to put those as low as possible.
I know we did, but it's not troublesome, Kylie. I'm just like that is what drives me. My little OCD.
Adam's also like fishing for compliments and
oh my god,
and everyone being like, bless you, Adam, for spending so much of your time on doing stuff.
No. I think what it is I really love to tinker things. Like you run here, you do this little thing, and you're like, I know I have to do this.
Adam's
this,
a tinker.
This.
Adam's a tinkerer by birth.
For sure. No, so anyways, it's so that's the difference you get. And so I already see you get the 349, you get the multi filament. God, this is a long answer, but we talk about 3D printing more than we expected.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Here is what you got to think about with 3D printing. Yeah. What are you going to 3D print? If you're going to print something that's like a tiny little cool thing for the gaming that you're going to do, like some people have the little figurines, you might want to think about a resin printer because it's much better if you're trying to get very intricate details, but it's going to be a little bit more fragile. But if you're doing more like functional prints or other things, so like I print my glasses. So if you haven't seen the show, these are custom made. These are a couple years old now, but I'm using PET G filament because it's a little bit more durable, higher kind of melting point, and it actually stands up to the test of time. PLA is great for kind of testing prints and doing things, but it just doesn't hold up over time and for a long time, and it has a lower melting point. If you can, getting into nylon and carbon fiber prints, like those are the ones that are going to be the most durable that you can get. But the problem is you have to go a lot hotter, and you have to have specialized printers and nozzles for that to happen. So
and
there you have it.
The filament, I imagine, is more specialized, right?
And costs more. And then when you get to the filament, there's a bazillion types out there, but you want ones that are kind of known so that there's like a tolerance level. The what is it? The radius or the diameter have to be like consistent. You have to have not a lot of variance in it.
I guess
I learned all these things. Like I just did that off the top of the dome, right? Like I have like learned something about 3D printing in my times.
How could you not?
All right, we are 30 minutes into the show.
We are 30 minutes. That is too many minutes into the show before we've gotten to the first news bit. Okay. There's only one news bit. I was over the last couple of weeks. Hey, it's holiday times and stuff, but I found one that I thought was kind of interesting, which is. And I wanted to play a game with you, Adam. You ready?
We're playing a game here. Okay,
are you open for a game for this?
Let's play a game.
Yeah. Not that type of game, luckily. Okay, so if anyone heard about, some news that broke today, was not huge news, but OpenAI came out with this thing that basically said that, hey, we're going to set up a scaling system that looks at, we're trying to get to AGI, right? That's what OpenAI, that's what like Sam Altman has talked about for years. That's their whole purpose, is to get to this artificial general intelligence. And he's like, they partnered with some people. Part of this announcement was partnering with the Los Alamos, thing, which made the bomb, which is not necessarily a great, version of that. But anyway, so they did that, and they were like, hey, we're going to put up some stages of where we say that there's going to be 5 stages till we get to AGI. And this is the benchmark that we're going to set as, we think everyone else should go
AGI, artificial general intelligence.
And what I thought was they name out what these 5 levels would be. When we're talking about like intelligence of a system, right? Going from nothing, I guess, like, or the low levels to like this omnipotent, oracle. And what I thought I would do is we have all 5 of them. We have their descriptions. And I thought it would be interesting to hear what you think the 5 are. And we'll compare them to what Sam Altman and OpenAI sort of think they are.
Because I've heard scalings with what gets you to AGI and things like that. So I don't think it's where probably I'm thinking, because I know that it started with analytical AI, which is more like what we see with we talked about this, I think, last stream, but we see that with like YouTube and algorithms that bring things up. So analytical is just like looking at what's happening and making inferences. Yeah. And then as you start to get a little bit bigger, it's LLMs, like which we're in now. We're getting all those learning language models, and that helps. The next version was that we kind of get close to where you're actually at the brain, and it's starting to do the multimodal kind of things and inferences around those areas. And then it's super AI or whatever, super whatever it is. And that then we surpass the brain.
After AGI is like super intelligence, right? Like is that was like,
so
books written.
That's the scale I've known. But what I guess, so just to clarify, what you're asking is, what are the 5 measurements that get you to AGI? Is that what I'm hearing right now?
So let me just give you the first one, to kind of help just to sort of set. So level 1 is where they're saying current chatbots like ChatGPT are sort of level 1. This is what Sam Altman is saying. And a lot of this, again, is like they're not putting big, details into it and everything. This is still very open. It's mostly just a fluff piece, actually, but I wanted to hear what your sort of. So at level 1, we have current stuff.
Got it.
Level 5.
Oh, you're gonna give me 5, okay?
Well,
yeah, you should.
Level 5 is like full AGI that can perform work of an entire organization of people.
Jesus.
That's what they say. That's what level 5 AGI is. Okay, so you have to come up with 2, 3, and 4. You haven't looked at this, I assume.
No,
like you're not. Okay, so if level 1 that we're at right now is current chatbots like ChatGPT.
Yeah.
What do you think is sort of level 2 of that? Like what haven't we gotten to yet? That's sort of.
So let me use some deduction at this point. So we're at this point where it's like reading kind of stuff. It's looking at language or written language. Yeah. And then lately, even with our phones, it's starting to speak. It's starting to see. Multimodal-esque. So it's kind of like.
But like early multimodal stuff.
So something around like connecting all of those into one experience, so that there's not some sort of like, so you go from just, hey, we can spit out some language or an image or that, but like it's all together.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you would call that, but the convergence of those three things.
Yeah, I feel like you're pretty close. So level 2 is systems that solve basic problems at the level of a person with a PhD.
Oh my God, I didn't think PhD level. Okay, so I wasn't thinking that right then, but that just kind of blew my mind. Okay.
That's level 2 is literally PhD level of
So I got to go
person.
3 and 4 right now?
So now imagine what 3 and 4 are, because like when I read that, I was kind of like, whoo, I feel like that should be later in the thing. Because then you could just spin up 100 PhDs, right? Or 1,000,000.
But then if you go benchmark, it's like an entire organization. So there's like a transition between the two.
There's something in between. Okay, so level 3. What do you think?
So, okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I could be wrong, but at this point, AG, and I don't know if this even factors into it, is like it's all like embedded into a computer at this point or something. Okay. So does it need to like step out of that environment in some capacity?
Okay.
And have some sort of like ability to see the environment and make some sort of like inferences
it's like
on
robot, its own. Like, or like camera, like.
Well, Yeah, like I'm saying, it doesn't necessarily need as many of the inputs. So now you're starting to get to the point where it's not waiting for something to come in, but it's like it's starting to use its sensors to like see things and infer things and build its way out.
I like that. Okay, so level 3
Oh no, here it is
AI agents capable of taking actions on a user's behalf.
Is that what I just said? Kind
of what you were doing, like a little bit of what you just said. I feel like I'm going to give you half points on that one.
I'll take it.
Like,
okay.
but to me, I would think that those almost might be flipped, but maybe not. I'm not the expert on it, because wouldn't you think something that could go out and do things for you is sort of next? And have we even gotten to PhD level versions of things? Like, I would take a stupid assistant over a PhD like trained assistant, even if they were just kind of...
Well, I think what they're trying to say, though, is that it's inferring enough that it knows you. It's like it's trained on your actions.
Yeah. Right. Totally. I like, give me a 19-year-old. If everyone had a 19-year-old ADHD assistant, that would be better than no damn assistant. Like, that's better than Alexa or whatever, like any of those are now. They're terrible.
But this is the thing I'm scared of when you even get to that level. So we're at level 3 at this point?
3.
Is there like inferring things? You just like wake up one day and then like you have this schedule of crap you're supposed to do. And you're like, what? I wanted to sleep all day.
No. Because then, God, oh my God. if it's sanctioned and brought through by my corporation, then yes. But if it's for me, it's like, oh man, hey, okay, you're too overworked for this. We need to like get more of this. And when are you going to take your vacation? And I'll set it up for you. Anyway,
I'm not even going to the political and the bias that goes in there. That's it's like you're gonna biohack us on that one. God. Okay, so if you get to 3, where it's like an assistant.
Yeah, so it's an assistant. So it has a PhD. It has PhD level like problem solving of a PhD level person. It can go out and take actions on your behalf now. And we're one level below it just being an entire organization, like it's just the hive mind of an entire organization. What's the one in between?
It's the Matrix, right?
I feel like that's after. That's like level 6.
That's level 6? Oh, I thought it took control of everything. That's the Matrix in 5. So, all right,
so one level sort of.
So wait. First of all, we start. Okay, I just want to think it through because logical is helpful.
Yeah. Chatbots.
So it's like when we first started, it has to use a lot of what we do, and it's like giving us some stupid analytical stuff.
Yeah.
As it goes into the second phase, we're getting a little bit more like smarter, I guess you can say, but it's not like thinking for itself. So I like thinking's the wrong word, right. But like it's a little bit better at what it does. Now you're getting to the point where it's starting to like be your assistant and starting to think about things. So like, okay, so if it's running an organization and then like an assistant to an organization,
what is the in between of that?
It has to be like, I don't know,
like managing,
like. I don't know. Is this where it like gets into our space and starts like making crap and
making
like making itself and like building other ones,
duplicating itself,
and cloning and because so if you get to the manager phase, you have to be able to build all the other workers. So it's like it's like an inventor or something, or it's like a
good job. I'm gonna say, Bing, you got it. You got it. Full points. Level 4, AI that can create new innovations. So
innovation,
before it had just been the sort of chatbot, and it can go out and sort of, figure out what you need and kind of go and get it. It's like an assistant, right? Like that's Jesus where it Christ. Is the assistant. But then level 4 is like, okay, I'm coming up with my own stuff now. Like I'm not just here to like help humans do it. Level 4 is when I feel like it really comes into oh man, you talk about being the Matrix.
I'm saying that's Matrix, right? I was
Matrix. On. That's Matrix stuff happening right now. After that, I love the amount of text that is on the screen coming from the chat. Just like everyone is putting in a paragraph. I love it. So okay, so that was 4. You did great, and then it goes new innovations. And then entire organizations of people, right? And then they're all innovating and doing things for each one at a PhD level. Okay, guess when Sam Altman said that we are going to get to that level
Number
5.
five?
Number 5. When is Sam Altman, who is, I would say, pretty at the tip of the spear of this stuff. And obviously he's trying to sell his company and he's trying to, be, oh man, we're of course at the tip of the spear, right? Like he wants me to think that that's the case. So that but like how many years for level 5?
Oh man. So I feel like I'm cheating. I haven't looked, but I'm cheating only because I've been to some conferences lately.
Sure.
And at the last conference, some lady was like, "Oh, we thought we would be where we are at now in 2030."
Right.
And so I was like, and she's like, "Oh, we're already here right now." So like my scaling is probably between. I'm gonna do a guess like between now and 2035.
2035. So you're like 10 years.
Yeah, within the 10 year time frame. Oh god, it's gonna be next year.
It's gonna be next fucking year, isn't it?
You're like August 24.
Yeah, you're like into the summer.
He's like, actually, I'm not even real. I'm AGI.
Boom. That's the big announcement. Oh man.
Holy crap, he could be.
5 years.
5 years.
Can you imagine? So like our kids will be out of high school, like, or close to sort of high school and going to college, when like that level of taking over the work of an entire organization is the intelligence level of chat whatever 0.0, right?
Holy crap.
And that is that could be a Trump presidency level of time, like in this next like election that is coming up. And imagine that happening at the end of
well, I mean, it's already at that point. Years. But here's the thing, and I appreciate the chat. We had some good guesses in the chat, like under a year, 10 years, 5 years. I mean,
that's how crazy this stuff is, that you would be like under a year or 10 years or 30 or 50 years, man.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Whatever. We are all either going to like a utopia or a dystopia in 5 years.
Well, and my 2 cents on this is that if AI really does this, and we're starting to get there, like the most important moments are going to be the real moments that we can have as humans when we're in Zion and Matrix. I watched a crap load of Matrix this last week too, by the way.
Wow.
But so yeah, I watched Resurrections. Have you ever watched Resurrections?
Oh yeah, I saw all those movies.
Well, the latest one, the one that they did.
Oh yeah, totally.
To say screw you to Warner Brothers. But anyway, I don't want to devolve. But yes, this is crazy to think how quickly this is going to happen. Hey, Mike. You know what? You think the fourth one is awful? I watched it 5 times now, and I've read a bunch of reviews because I'm a big Matrix fan. It is like an FU to Warner Brothers. Yeah, let's go, bro. Let's go. Because if you watch it, it's like super meta. They're basically saying like, oh, you guys are going to make me try to reinvent the Matrix and rewrite this amazing movie. It's not going to happen. We're going to go back to the past and we're going to say like, we're going to cheapen this stuff enough so that we don't want to do another Matrix. And we've like already like, yeah, F you to Warner Brothers in the future. Well, I mean,
Burn, he got you to say it out loud. All right, we got to move on. We can't litigate the Matrix movies.
But hey, that's where we're at because that's all we got anymore, Ryan. We're talking about the future of Zion here, okay? Where are we going to be hanging out when this AI's taking over,
those
bro?
are going to be historical documents that we refer back to at the after
That
times.
is. That's what we'll think.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it can't be. It was how many when we get to number 5?
5
It was
years.
the base question. How many years before AI can do what? Before it can
perform the work of an entire organization of people at a PhD level.
So think about it like a humongous business, and is able to run the business without human interaction, I suspect.
All right, let's look at some of these. Let's look at some of these fun
tools.
What,
you know what I want to say, Ryan?
Yeah.
Is we're getting better at not completely devolving. That was a little
That's true.
Like it's gotten much better than what we've done before.
It has gotten a lot better.
But all right, do we need to swap?
So before we get into the apocalypse of AI, let's play with their fun little tools that are available to us at this dawning of a new like super intelligence.
I feel like a toddler.
Totally. Like as the world burns behind us, right? Well, let's play with these fun little tools. All right. So what this is actually a Google thing. Google set up this site, and what it is like you're taking 2 subjects and we'll be like, all right, let's take this guy, and what background do you want to put him in?
It's doing it right now.
It's like, ooh, shiny, the shiny difference. And what they're saying is like you could take multiple things and put them together and have it mimic that style.
Jack Sparrow.
So then you'd be like, oh, right. Like, see, so then if I wanted a puppy in there instead.
That's not a puppy, by the way. That is like a zebra dog.
A zebra dog. Like, it would be that color. Or maybe I want him like this color and stuff. And what it's saying is it could like take images. You could have completely different types of images.
Yeah.
And pull them together and have them like blend the style of that one, not only just in the coloring of it, but like even I guess these are these all just color, because that's really going to like come on Google.
He doesn't even change the,
he doesn't even
or
change.
He put something else in there at the same time. Oh, you can't. He's kind of changes orient. Oh, don't put the clown in. Oh God,
the clown in the red room.
That is a creepy one. That clown needs to be more realistic though.
And, this is one of those where like, oh, I can't upload my own thing, right? Like, they can't do that. But I thought that was neat, and especially coming from Google.
Wait. Do the unicorn. I have a thing for unicorns right now.
Unicorn in the mysterious cave.
Oh, we can't draw a unicorn in there. Oh, it's very majestic.
And let's see it in the desert.
Oh, not in the desert.
I was hoping it had like cool Mad Max style
that would have been sweet.
On it. That would have been sweet.
Hey, wait, just talking about deserts, did you hear about the whole thing with the temperature in the Death Valley getting up to 130?
I did hear that it was hot.
And people are flocking there because they think it's a tourist attraction to see how hot it is.
Like experience the hottest place on the entire Earth.
And then they're dying, of course. So, whatever.
Like I'm going to bring a little 12-ounce bottle of Dasani out there with me into the 130 degree. Wasn't it like blooming or something like that too? Because it got some rain.
Oh, I have no
Maybe
clue.
That was a different part. Anyway.
I'm getting a unicorn costume.
You're getting a unicorn costume? That sounds fun.
Stealth Mouse said I'm getting one, so that's great.
Okay, so this one I thought was kind of interesting because what it does is it takes video and it makes the background soundtrack, like background effects for it, just based on the imagery that it is. So I thought what we could do is download something, because Adam has this kick-ass fiber now. I'm sure we could download whatever thing we want.
Knock on wood. I have T-Mobile fiber now. I went from...
what does it say?
It's seemingly
it better
good.
say excellent. It better say excellent on all of this.
Yeah.
What's something that would have an interesting sound profile?
We got to tell Kylie. So I finally got T-Mobile fiber in this place. We went from like 100 up and like what? Oh, no. Sorry. It went from like 100 down to like 10 up to now like 950 up and 950 down. It's ridiculous.
That feels ridiculous.
It's a little ridiculous.
Okay, so let's say let's try this one.
Wait, so you have to put a video?
Yeah. So what you're gonna do is I'm gonna be like
$70. It's half of what I was paying for Comcast. Oof, 118.
118
in Lake Havasu.
Oh man,
that is ridiculous.
That's intense. That's super intense.
Fiber has been put in at least Belmont here in T-Mobile. Not the little like thing you go and chuck in there as wire flip. They literally have a fiber cable that they installed to my house. I don't know where it's at, but they've been rolling it out in Pueblo. I don't know if it's in P West yet.
How come I can't download this, Adam?
All right, because I need to help. Let's see here. What are you trying to do here?
I'm trying to download this little clip from the free site of Pexels.
Click this one, and then which size do we want?
And I said download it at selective side, whatever.
Oh, I'll do this one. We'll do HD.
Yeah.
Download selected size.
And then it goes to this, and then it just opens up. Do I need to right click
video
out of this?
Okay. I'm going to throw that one on my desktop. I cleaned up my desktop too, so now we have room to save this. Nice. This looks very silhouette.
Yeah.
Like,
so what do you think the sound effects would be for this? No, not music.
Oh. Will you marry me?
It's like,
no, you dumb fool. On a hiking trip? I hate hiking.
It's like going to come up with their voices. I love this. I hate you. I never wanted to go on this.
Ooh, sound of falling water. That's actually a good guess. Okay. Yeah. How do we do this?
Next one. Just drag it and drop it in there.
Oh, it's a drag and drop system, man.
Which I thought was kind of interesting, right? You're just like, hey, what are the sound effects for this? Because you know what? Stock video has no sound effects always. It's always just muted.
It's analyzing.
Yeah. And so I tried this with a different one.
Or lightsabers. I like the lightsabers. I'm going for that. That's where I'm putting oh God, you have multiple.
Yeah, so just like click on one of these and I think it'll play. Can we hear it?
Somebody was right. Sounds like water.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah. Okay. An echoey cave. Okay. Ooh. See, that sounds too like.
It's very light. That's why you're not hearing it. Here, let me see if I can bump this up. I don't know if there's any more that you can hear. Very, very light. All right. Here we go again. That one's terrible. I don't know.
That one's terrible.
Okay, we need to do a different video.
It's like too dramatic, cavey sounding dropping. All right, try a different video.
Yeah, let's do a different one. That was, I mean, I like the idea, but another video. Wait, where's Pexels?
Oh, it closed.
I closed it probably.
Pexels.
If you haven't used Pexels, it is a free downloadable site. I didn't realize they had videos though.
Yeah.
They aren't spelunking. All right.
Yeah.
All right, chat. What should we look up as a video? Any ideas here? Something that would maybe have
something
some
that wouldn't be too obvious, right? Like, because I was thinking, like, oh, like a race car going by or a horse, riding past. But it's like, it's gonna know that.
But would it know everything? City? Like, city
what about
life?
like an arcade? And then would it know, like, would it put in little bleeps and
all right, let's
stuff?
see an arcade. I'm down with that, unless we get something in the chat.
Yeah.
An arcade. I like it. Like this one?
Oh, like the pinball, right? Like, will it know, like, cling, 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 cling? That's the noises that I...
Well, this dude gets, like, crazy in it. That kid turns around and he cheers.
All right.
I feel like that one has, like, a moment in it.
Sure.
Like, watch it.
Yeah, he's like, yeah,
he's
cheering.
yelling.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
And it shows what they're playing is like an analog arcade game.
This one has some potential here.
Okay.
We're going to see if this one goes. All right, how do I get back to it? Do I have to go back a page?
Just refresh this?
No. Because you can't download this. All right, here we go.
You can download them. All right, let's see.
Analyzing.
And we got one more. We got one more to play with after this.
This is good. I like this one. Man, I have a bad feeling about this one.
It's not going to be good.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's put a soundtrack over it.
I guess. That's not a sound effect.
It had the clap. It hit the clap on cue. We got to...
Nice, it did. Wow, that's pretty good.
All right. We got
that one too.
Way too loud though.
Yeah.
It is. It's like way more crowd than is in this video here.
Yeah, it's like they're in a stadium playing this freaking game.
No clap on that
clap
one.
That one.
First two had it. No, it was there. It was there.
A little bit.
All right. I think the best one was like one or two. I can't tell which one. Probably. All right.
Yeah, Mike Azul wants to try the pinball one.
All right, we're going shrink the scope. Yeah, that's true. There's too many things going on. So you wanna get pinball. I got you. I like your analytical thinking. This kid was in that prior video.
Yeah, but we gotta see only pinball. That's what I was saying. Like shrink the scope, right? Like you gotta shrink it to just be like, it's pinball. Give us pinball.
All right, let's search pinball.
Pinball.
We're gonna see. We can put
Or just-
arcade.
Or just that one.
Is that pinball?
Yeah. That not pinball?
I guess it is. Mike Azul, which pinball? Like, do you need to see the whole thing?
No, I think like it's better almost. Like, can it figure out that that's pinball?
Like zoomed in. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Wait, let's see this one.
That one's like too artsy.
All right, let's get to this top one.
Dealer's
This is the
choice.
one.
Yeah, this is the one.
But there's nothing. That seems so lame. Come on, that's not pinball.
That's like the wimpiest pin because it's slow.
Slow ball.
Okay, do that one because that one's like real time at least, not slowed down.
Dealer's choice. Which one?
Up.
This one here?
That one. Whichever one is not slow motion. I think it's that one.
Alright, let's see this one. All right, this is our third in.
Okay.
God, this is like somebody playing pinball in slow motion. All right, I'm having the low hopes on this one.
I feel like it's gonna know. It's gonna recognize that this is pinball.
Let's hope. All right. Here we go, everyone. Pinball for the win.
Pinball. I feel like these don't take very long to give you, you know.
God, remember back in the day?
Yeah, and we would like sit here for 30 seconds. We would go do another thing and then come back and see it. And it's like
those were the days.
3 seconds.
This does
and
not
it's done.
look loud, so let me
No.
quiet for it.
It's slow motion. All right, and it got a little of that thing too. That's it's not at the right timing.
No.
though. Sounds like a dock worker.
It sounds like dragging like things through a
Yeah, like gravel.
factory. No pinball.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, at least it did it at the right point.
Yeah,
for one.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much of that is just random, but
Man, well, I mean, interesting thing.
Yeah.
I love the concept behind that because I feel like what our reactions were when we first were getting into Dolly and we were trying things and it was like not
Right.
the greatest.
yeah.
So I mean, awesome.
And you know, it's if you've looked at any of the new stuff that they have with Sora or all those different ones, like the text to video has gotten a lot cooler and everything too. So I don't know.
Well, all right. I want to take a quick
Yeah.
quick recap of what we just did because it was pretty awesome that the clap got hit.
yeah.
The second one. Wait, what was the first one? There was the dripping. So we called the water. It doesn't. It seems like it only does background noises. Like it wasn't like yappity yap yap and go back and
No,
forth.
I don't think it's-
very bed of background music or something.
Yeah, I don't think it was meant to be like every little part of it. It was almost just like sound effects or bounces that happen or things that would be in the background, which is kind of.
I think Mike Azul had it tuned in. It was like responding to the movements or some of the
Yeah.
things. But again, that first one, it was silhouette. It had to know it was in a cave to have the drippy noise. So
Right.
that was good on that one.
Yeah, it knew there was rain or water was happening and it was in a cave.
Man, maybe it is going to happen in 5 years.
5 years.
Crap.
Like imagine how much has changed in the last year and a half.
It's coming, y'all. We're going to have a factory. They're going to have the Adam and Ryan Hangout and AI. We're not even going to do
We're
anything.
gonna be replaced.
They're going to be talking about like, remember when people used to sit and talk about
So
this stuff?
Stupid. AI does it so much better.
We're going to make a video game in 2 seconds. Boom. Oh, yo. check it
we're
out.
playing it.
All right. Sold 100,000 copies to all our AI buddies. Done.
Son of a bee. How could I keep up with that? All right. Okay. So the last one that I want to play with is we haven't come back to Adobe Firefly in a while.
Yeah,
And
fair.
we've talked a little bit about it. It's been in the news because of like lawsuits that are going through. But just as a consumer side of Adobe Firefly, we haven't really talked about where it has changed. And I hadn't really been keeping up with it because I lazily have just started using DALL-E to do everything, right? Because it's already in ChatGPT and I just get halfway through of doing some kind of text prompts and then I go, hey, give me a thumbnail for that or whatever. And so that's what I've been doing. But this week, part of last week at work, I needed very specific images and I was just like pulling my hair out trying to get DALL-E to create these freaking images.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, what is the only, because I canceled my Mid-Journey, and so I've been like, all right, well, I got Adobe Firefly. Let's try that. And so I jumped back into their interface, which is updated amazingly over the last few months.
Wow.
Because, switch it over to this if you don't mind. What this is like, exactly, get out of here. Okay. I'm going to explain it. Thank you very much. Okay, so what this is Adobe's version, right? And all you're doing along the bottom is you're adding things. If you've ever played with any of those other AI models, sometimes you're like adding things like this, which are just sort of helping the prompt, understand what's going on. I'm going to clear all these. But what's cool about it is they have two different versions of uploaded reference images. And so you can upload things to ChatGPT, right? Here's an image, try to use this as the style. But what this does is it breaks it up into two and it says, hey, there's one that's going to be for composition. And so if that's you're like, I want it to be an outside of a house like this, right?
Sure.
Or a landscape, or I want it to be, a 3D image sort of with very little background behind it, right? Or something like that. You can choose that, or you can upload your own image. And then they have a second one that is styles, and you can choose it from, any of these. You can browse the gallery and look, or you can upload your own. And so you're like, oh, I want an above shot, and that's how you would do sort of the perspective that you want. And then you would say, but I want a pixel style, and that's what you would do for this. And I just I played with a couple of these and they were really interesting. Here's different tones that you can ask it for. And I'm sure you could do all of this stuff in DALL-E, right? If you wrote it all in, or if you did it to Mid-Journey. I just thought this seemed like such an Adobe way to do it, which is here's some kind of templates that we know that artists use when they're creating stuff. And they know that there's a specific style that they want it. And they know there's a specific layout that they want, because here's what I was doing. Even as a professional thing, I needed thumbnails that had a border around the edge of geometric shapes, but I needed the inside of it to be empty so that I could put my own icon in the middle of it. And I could do that for a bunch of different, and I was like, great, give me a bunch of these borders.
Yeah.
And I could not get DALL-E to do that. It kept filling in the middle. It kept making it too complicated around the ends. And as I did it through Adobe Firefly, I was like, hey, I can upload some things. I can say, this is the style. Only put it around the edge. Only use these geometric shapes in the style. And it was giving me good results.
You know what's funny? As you show me this right now, if you're not aware of the news, it's that as we've been going forward, they've been saying, oh, Adobe's going to use your stuff that you're putting in here. And I'm starting to think people are up in arms about it, which to a certain degree I understand. But then the other side of it, I'm like, well, if they're making everything with AI,
right?
Is it because they're just well, we made it with AI anyway, so why don't you just learn off the cool stuff you're making, so then we keep feeding and cannibalizing your AI?
Well, they talk about AI feeding itself, right? Especially through text.
Yeah.
And they say it's supposed to degrade it slightly, right? It's making a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy without new and interesting things. But you're right,
But if you're doing the composition and you're an artist making something new,
right?
It should learn off of that.
Yeah,
and can't be. We love it that you I think this is where at Bing and Copilot. So Bing is trained off ChatGPT, right?
It is.
It's essentially ChatGPT, OpenAI. And I think everyone's definitely leveraging a lot of these image generators for a lot of the stuff now.
Okay, should we try one?
Yeah, let's go.
So let's browse the gallery. So the reference style. line drawings, photography, abstract are kind of the.
Are we
the
starting
main ones
fresh
of
or are we
these.
using the cottage theme?
I don't know. What do you want to do? Is there some sort of Game Boy thing that we could like upload?
All right. This is where we get some chat ideas. What are we gonna create? Right? This is the creation interactive mode. We want to. I think the idea of a landscape would be great, or some sort of like scene, and then we populate it with things. So what if we did like if we don't get any chat kind of suggestions, like maybe not a stream room. But
okay,
something around
like an interior. So like so photography.
Let's do an interior.
Do you want photography?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's do that. Okay, so we have that as the competition.
Photorealistic is what that's saying. There's a strength.
Yeah, strength.
Okay,
right.
Did you upload that photo?
No.
Okay. So you picked like a room with some stuff. Okay.
Oh man, and it only lets you do one. I didn't even mess with this.
You're like none, a little bit, or all of it.
Yeah. All right. All of it.
We're going all in. All
styles. Okay. Let's see what they give you. Do you have a style that you're thinking about?
What was that top one? The top middle. I don't necessarily like it. I just was curious. Okay.
It doesn't. I was gonna say
4 rows down, middle. Like I like the little cartoony stuff, but then maybe if we're doing photorealistic, that wouldn't be great.
Right, then it's not gonna.
But what's the difference?
Pencil,
like I would like to
3D.
see the juxtaposition between.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it did it like all in one.
Like claymation. Is there a claymation version of something?
Let's see. Digital illustration, 3D.
Yeah, 3D would probably be where it's at. That little dude in red.
This guy?
Wait, what is that? I can't even tell. Maybe we just do it. It's weird enough. It's different enough. You got like a crazy room, and that kind of reminds me of, I don't know. Let's try it.
Okay.
So what we're saying is strength, intensity of that, and then whatever the hell that is. Random 3D dude.
Well, we'll leave it in middle.
All right.
Okay, so do we want it a photo or do we want it art?
I think photo for now.
Photo.
Because we're trying to go photorealistic. I would love to see that.
Yeah. Okay. And we got that style. Okay. So then what are we going to actually do?
Oh, so okay, those are reference.
So you said like a interior
look at this.
Streaming.
It starts giving you all these things. Interior of an Orthodox church. Oh my, what was that? It was Orthodox at the entrance, votive candles.
Hey, people probably want churches.
You think, but do you think these are from other people? It's gotta be.
Prompt suggestions.
Gotta be.
Like,
yeah, interior podcast bros. Yeah. And then let's see here. With the white, it's music getting. I like some of these other suggestions it's giving.
Notebook near white wall.
Yeah, it's like
Gadarin condenser.
Microphones, monitors, audio equipment, entertainment room. That seems about where we're at.
Okay.
We got to put podcast bros, right? Yeah. All right.
Try it?
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's see what it comes up with.
And I like that it gives you 4. Again, like I've been tired of 3D printer neon lights.
All right, we'll add that to the next piece.
That'll be a good one.
I feel like it needs a drum roll at this point.
Oh, see, because it was very much going off of this.
Oh.
See, so the composition, right? Because we put that up really high, it's like very much a living room with a thing, right?
Gotcha.
And then we chose this one.
And it used the red, so it used the colors. So it was trying to use those exact images. Okay, that's what I was curious if. I didn't know if it was going to say, hey, a style like this, like take the strength down on both. Yeah, do the neon room. I'm cool with that.
So do we want to do neon?
Just run the same script and see what happens with the strength at exactly where it's at.
I'm going to take away photo just in case. Okay.
I think photorealistic would have been better.
We'll see. They're both photorealistic composition and style, so it might. Anyway, what I just thought was neat is there seems like so much more specific detail that you could get into this kind of stuff.
I like how it doesn't put actual people in it.
Right. Yeah, like it didn't put people in it.
Put that in there at the end, right?
Yeah, let's see.
It definitely has that like circular neon there.
Yeah, what do you think?
You guys talking was probably gonna be a good way. I like how there are these like changes that you can do. Bearded hippies.
Yeah.
Oh crap.
You're like, oh, no, I'm feeling seen. Nice.
Yeah. You got to put bearded hippies because, man, that first one. I'm the guy on the left, man. Blonde hair.
Oh, it didn't dive it in.
Bearded. There you go.
Okay. And then I thought this was kind of interesting.
It does have a podcast because this is not the stream piece. Oh, there you go.
This one?
Yeah.
Or like this one? Okay, so what I thought this was interesting, right, is you could be like edit, and then do I want to do a generative fill for like a section of it, or generate similar, or use as the composition reference, right? So you could be like, oh yeah, put this in as the style reference, and you could just keep feeding it back into its own thing to keep like narrowing in on what you want, which is definitely what I did at some point.
Well, let's keep it again. Let's try to make that one the thing, right?
Generate similar.
It looks like it's like a mirror. Definitely hippies. And if you knew me a while ago, you know my thing about hippies. I'm not a hippie, man. But I guess I look like a hippie. Damn it.
Nice. We just switch you to a girl.
I'm down with that. It's all good. That second one on the upper right.
Right. Okay.
But you lose it forever. Wait, what do we lose? The other one? No, I think there's like a history. There's got to be a history.
Yeah, actually, I don't know that because I was downloading them in the moment. Suggestions?
Suggestions are what you're typing.
Oh, right, yeah. All right. Anyway, I just thought that was...
Go to that little thing. Does that show you the history?
This one?
Yeah.
This is like how to switch it between
how do you get
them.
your things. So we lost it. So you're saying that we just lost all your stuff.
We just lost every single one of those. Great job.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Anyway, I just thought those were fun. We don't have to spend a million hours on it.
Wait,
but
this
like,
one in the upper right-hand corner. It
regenerate this one?
No, don't do it. It's just the picture on the left. It looks very like it starts to blend the face. It looks very feminine, but
yeah,
then, like,
it does. They both look sort of feminine at this point.
all the work you put in, it lasts forever.
All that work.
Well, see,
oh yeah, I like these ones.
This is what I'm saying. Like every time you go deeper, it seems to like bastardize it, and it gets like
it goes like, oh, you like these Tron style headphones? Okay, Tron style headphones everywhere. Then I suppose red shirt.
My favorite one thus far, honestly, is that upper left one. It's looking good. Okay, can you select a part of it, like that circle in it? Can we put a TV there? No, in the middle. Can you select a part of it?
Like generative fill?
Yeah, okay. Select that. Oh, it erases it. Oh, so it's going to fill it. I gotcha.
Okay.
Sorry, the mouse isn't the greatest.
No, but it's okay. We'll get it.
Can you adjust the size of it? No. Maybe? All right, what are we going to put in the circle?
Yeah, what are we going to put in the circle between us?
Oh, wait, we should make it to like they're eating spaghetti. Like that, like the dog. That was
like, woo,
all dogs go to heaven. All dogs go to heaven, spaghetti.
That's Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, I mean that.
Eating spaghetti.
I meant that.
Also, hey, both great. Both great.
Good shows.
I need to use the restroom.
All right, I'm going to continue deleting this, and we're going to be. It's Lady and the Tramp. We're Lady and Tramping this one. He's got to eat it. God, I really hope this works, because I think that would be sweet. Does that mean we have to like delete their? We're gonna have to delete some of their hands, so that they're holding it. No, because they wouldn't need to, right? There's got to be like a table right here. Of some sort of spaghetti. Hopefully he doesn't try to make like just shove some rando dogs in there. All right, and get his lips. Beep beep. All right, I don't know how to, oh, okay. Enter and okay. Lady and the Tramp eating. Oh, jeez. How do you spell spaghetti? Spaghetti. Oh my god, I feel like I have no skills at spelling tonight. I was doing something a little bit earlier and I couldn't spell. I think I got it right. Spaghetti. Yeah, I got it right with an H. Or there's an H in there. Spaghetti. Lady and the Tramp eating spaghetti. All right, I'm going to do this. Is this enough? Lady and the Tramp eating spaghetti? You think that's enough?
Is it going to put a picture of Lady and the Tramp in the middle of this?
Eating
spaghetti?
Okay, like in the style. Oh wait, no, in the.
It's definitely not going to know any of that.
All right, fair enough. All right, eating the same strand of spaghetti.
Okay. I feel like because the problem is it's going to look at the outside. Maybe I'll be interested to see if it does it.
Let's roll the dice here.
Yeah.
Come on, let's eat this spaghetti.
Come on.
I'm waiting for it. Oh, it gives you some options, so we don't have to.
We'll get 4. Yeah. It looks like they have like a word.
Oh!
They did it!
Yeah!
Yes! Eating spaghetti! That's perfect!
Oh my god. Wait, I like the second one. Yeah, that's super retro.
Him. Oh my god. I love it. That is the one. If that was my futuristic Italian restaurant, oh man. So good.
Oh my
Talk about Meow Wolf stuff. That feels like a Meow Wolf.
We are keeping
right
that
there.
one.
Keep
How do I
Download
I'm downloading this
one.
one. Wait, how do I do this? Promoting AI. Okay, thank you.
It has to tell you that.
We are
That's
that is prompt of the night, folks.
Nice. I love that.
That looks great. I love
great.
it.
Should be like the YouTube thumbnail for this episode.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a great idea. An AI. Well, shoot, everyone does that. All right, fair enough.
All right. That was fun. Can you put us back to us?
Ryan figured it out. He figured out my complicated system.
It said front cam, and I went. That seems
left.
Seems like upper
easiest
left.
one to go with.
All right. Those are fun. I feel like.
All right, we got 6 people. Kylea is. Yeah, there's copious amount of carbs, Gampy. All right, who wants to play some? Are we sure this is going to be the right way? We're going to play a game. We could play it either right now and at the end if we have some time. If we have the time and you hang out with us the whole time, you'll get some Jackbox Party. But
Adam
Ryan
purchased a new game.
Let's hope this one's actually fun.
Can I change the? How do I change the Twitch to?
Oh, what are you trying to change?
I'm trying to change it to Jackbox 5.
You don't do it by clicking.
No?
Nope. Oh, what are you doing, my friend?
Oh, I thought I was getting it back. What happened?
All right, give me this controller over here, sir.
Apparently I'm just like.
We need our chat.
up.
And you want to go to Jackbox 5? We have to go over here.
No. I was just trying to change the Twitch what we were playing.
We have to go to a separate computer for that one. Dude, I don't. Screw that. We don't need to do that. This is part of the show.
All right. Yeah, you're like only cool kids that are in on it.
Oh, we got Mike Azul doing kid Wi-Fi tech support. Okay, so we're gonna slowly get into this. Get your Jackbox TV on.
I don't know if this is a everyone gets to
play.
Shoot. I'm not sure.
All right, we're gonna explore this one.
Explore.
Let's see if this actually does what we're expecting to do. So we're gonna go into some of our Jackbox. Let's go see it. Might be fun. Put in my code, which is XFMLTGMPR.
I still have mine. I have mine hidden from the children. And when they want to purchase something on the Xbox, I pick it up and I hide it from them and I click in the code and they don't know it. Adverse City.
Oh my god, this is so loud.
So loud.
Hold on a second. I gotta change this down.
50 maybe? It doesn't need to be very loud.
Okay. The way that it sounds for us is different than everyone
higher,
else.
okay.
So, all right. What was the map?
Adverse City. Robot rap battle.
You might just have to put on one ear. It might help. It looks like a rapper too. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it should be.
Wait, there's an ear for rapping?
Oh, well, I imagine you want your open. Well, I guess maybe towards you.
many people can do it? All right.
Guess it's robot night.
Let's try
Come
it.
on.
I was gonna say, I don't know.
Are we gonna have to listen to this? Have you played this yet?
I haven't watched people play.
Okay, so I just spent $30 on these all. This is Ron Ryan if it's not fun. Let's see who can even play it at the same time. We didn't even look at the rules.
Oh my god. He Higley. This is a different game, He Higley, than the ones we typically play.
This is gonna be some mad raps going on,
I
y'all.
hope you got your mad raps on.
Campy, if you gotta get in on this, man.
Campy's there. Oh, we might have to. Mike is a little tough.
We're gonna give him just a second. Well, shoot, if he's doing some like Wi-Fi support for kids on iPads is like high level kind of stuff.
That's like a 10-minute job, right?
Could be. He's hacking it up. He's putting in the keys right now.
He's scrolling through his phone to find the.
All right, we can maybe do 2 rounds of this. We'll see how it goes. He's gonna get to watch. Oh, Stealth Mouse. Let's roll on. You're VIP. You gotta start it.
VIP. First one in.
I like my
Doors
my
open
thing.
in 3, 2, 1.
All right. This is great.
Check it out, y'all. Welcome to the battle. I'm your host for the night, Shadow Master MC, straight from the west side of Chicago.
Which doesn't exist anymore.
All right, the mic's in your hand, Rach. Yo.
You know, Campy even subscribe to our YouTube.
I'll take over,
That's
I
awesome.
guess.
It's pretty good.
Here's how you do it. We'll ask you for a word or a oh, we can skip ahead, sure.
No.
Oh,
What's the word,
what?
Shadow?
Look like we stuck with the robots. Let's
Wait,
go.
did you skip the? Oh, we don't even know what we're
Oh my
doing.
God.
Right, get them lyrics together.
It's all right.
Write a word or a phrase, then an entire line that rhymes with the one that we give back to you. Now you got to do that twice, all right? Hit that suggestion button if you need it.
Okay, we don't know what we're doing. Oh, give me. Okay, it's kind of telling you.
Fictional.
I don't know what we're doing here. This is funny.
Okay, you're about halfway through your writing time.
Now, if you can't think of anything at all, you can use that Write For Me button.
Yeah.
You better get them fingers moving.
God damn it. Oh,
Okay,
I feel like
here's
he
the
needs to
draw.
tell me
Check it
more.
out, party people. We got the first 2 robot battle rappers
All
up
right.
here ready to get it in.
Damn
Players,
it.
be sure to give props or tell them if they whack by using your devices.
Oh, snap.
All right.
My rhymes will blast you all the way to the Shire. Throwing all your rings in the pyre. I'm on my way up, I could climb height speed. And that's why they call me a little snack cake.
All right, we heard that. Let's keep it moving. Yo, where the next bot at? Get your gears in gear.
I'm just here to say, smackingly, iRobots smackingly shattering the beats on Compton's I rise to new heights. I'm a master plumber. Fix stem pipes for those folks that be dumber.
Nice.
All right, thanks. Appreciate you. All right,
okay,
now
this
you
is
gotta
what I'm
use your
getting now.
devices to find out who gonna make it and who gonna get slayed.
Oh, we don't even get to vote.
I feel like we need to. I feel like you can like get in the rhythm of this a little bit more. We might need
Let's get
multiple.
those
This is
votes
first
in.
round.
Yeah,
It's all good.
exactly.
We're starting to get it now. Oh.
All right, you see it. The numbers don't lie. Congratulations.
Good job.
Check
There
it
we
out.
go.
I need my
Battle
next
winner.
battlers up and ready to go.
I'm so good looking, everybody says, wow. I am too glad I am about wow. Gather round, I'm about to get jumped. You didn't know I had automation in my crew?
Oh,
Yo,
snap.
time to
Loving
waste.
it.
Let's keep
Damn,
it moving.
I
Let's go.
should've been
Yo
hitting
time.
Run and find cover cause I'm about to fart in. If you don't look put it'll be parting. I deliver it hot as cat. So don't be a rat.
Oh,
That was
man.
kinda cool. I know you can do better than that though. Okay, now it's over. Who's the dopest rapper? Who's the wackest cat?
Oh, it's hard. They were very both good.
Nice.
Becky got it.
Okay, there's your winner. Good job, y'all. Good job. Let's check out those scores.
'Cause I think we get it twice, right? We get it twice, I think.
Yeah, we do.
Time to tell us why you think you all that. Follow those instructions on your device.
All right, all right.
Got about a minute left.
Bringing the train in.
You know you can use rhyme for me to have us fill in your line. Here's the undercard and main event for round 2. Better get some of that money. All right, first battle. Let's get it in.
All right, enemy, first up again, huh?
You gotta come strong. I'm a battling fat old goose. Rhymes so stank like a musky ass moose. If you were a movie, you'd be Free Willy. Fuck the whales. Embalming like Higley.
All right, thank you. Now we gotta move on.
It snorted.
You know you gotta answer that. Put some weights on them muscles and get them words out.
You got no place to run, no place to running. Better watch out cause incoming gunning. You ever hear the one about the weak ass root beer? Shit is so good it'll make you have no fear.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
That was okay.
So
Let's keep it moving. Yeah, check it out. Now it's time to use your devices to vote on who brought it stronger.
Because now you sort of know, you're like, I'm coming up with something and it's going to need to be able to rhyme with that afterwards, right?
Did you forget
we're
the
getting
vote?
our beats down.
Yeah,
We're
I feel it.
gonna have to come up with themes too.
Yeah,
I think
how
that-
good would that be once we sort of get it?
Yeah.
Boom!
The 3 really made me snort. I'm sorry, babe.
Okay, good job. Good job. We got your winner. Hey, man, come on. Watch where you step. Now it's time for our next matchup. Where my MC's at.
All right.
Your rhymes are so weak they can't lift a pillow. You're a dillo. You feel those nerves inside your head? Makes me want to go to bed.
Nice.
All right, there you go. I like your
All
little
right, I see you, Swag.
dance too.
Next robot, grab the mic.
My game is rhymes, your game is shoots and ladders. I drop dim beats while you slip and splatter.
Nice.
Just come at me if you want to get jaded. I'm the board game king that gets you faded.
Nice. Oh, it's good.
All right, thanks. Now we got to move on. Okay, y'all, now the battle is over. You got to use your devices to vote.
I feel like I wish I had like a thing of their battle. You know,
Yeah, to, like, remember.
Like remember exactly what it was. That would be fun.
Oh, we got 3.
Oh, because we got an audience.
Hell yeah! Welcome to the audience.
Good job. Congratulations. Hey, man, please don't step on me. Round 2 over. Final
Why is he
round
talking
coming.
about people stepping on it?
It's
Now
like
let's check
it's like
out
a
the
battle
scoreboard.
thing, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Boom.
Oh,
All
it is.
right, now this is your
Last
last
one?
chance.
All right,
Go
all right,
ahead
here
and
we
get
go.
at them. Let them know what the real is. Remember to use that write for me button if you're coming up blank. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
I screwed
Okay,
up.
here's the card for the final round.
I don't know what
Lots
happened.
of money on the line.
We ran out of
Are
time.
you ready?
No, because
Then
I
let's
was
see
like.
what you got. Rip them apart.
Anyway, okay. I wish I had had time to finish that one out.
I know,
Voice
it's
is
close.
annoying like a whiny bastard. I hope your apps don't last either. You're as smooth as a three-legged whale. I hope you don't hump like a snail.
Nice.
All right. I see what you're working with. Now, what you gonna say after that?
I like they wait a second.
Wait, is this the wrap?
Oh wait, what?
She's like, I don't even need it.
I don't even need
I'm
it.
rapping on you like nothing. Just like staring you down.
It's just not even saying. What is happening? Is the game broken?
No, I don't think it is. Maybe it is. I don't know.
What is that?
Dancing.
Come on. This is like it's like Rabbit at the beginning of
I don't even need to say
5
nothing.
Mile. Come on. Boo.
Yeah, because it's not doing anything. Did it break? We got all.
Man, that's hilarious. Just sitting here. It's like, look at that dope ass owl. What's happening?
I think it totally broke.
Oh man.
Wait, hold on a sec. Let's just make sure. No, we're good.
No.
Go back to 8 Mile,
Yeah,
y'all.
exactly.
I think it's dead. I think it's dead.
All right. We won't be able to see.
We will know
our
who
amazing
won. I was top of the leaderboard,
Yeah,
bro.
like, I was. Man.
Because we both didn't finish our stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix it. I spent $30 for this.
Dude, what the heck, Jackbox?
All right, Becky, you're gonna have to call in and do your
Yeah,
rap
just
in
just
person here.
remember what it was and text or put it in the chat.
And we're gonna give it just a second here. We're gonna have to.
I feel like I don't think it's just gonna come up randomly.
I don't think it is. I think the fiber was too fast. You must have had
Too
too dope a rap.
fast. Too dope,
Becky's the winner because you're just dancing it out there for the evening. All right. What do you think, y'all, tonight? I mean, aside from this, do we need to call a number in? Yeah. You need that call-in number. All right, we have to lose the progress here, I guess. Unfortunately, but that was fun, Ryan. I think aside from it crashing on us,
I know.
I was looking forward to the rap.
Too bad. I feel like we were getting better at it there for a little
We were
bit.
getting really good. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this one a little bit later. Now we know the beat of it.
Right. No pun intended.
I wanna see that, like, the beats get crazy. They gotta have another release of this, the AI version of it, where it starts to put on some additional beats and goes from there. So, all right, I'm canceling it out. That's all we can do. Here we go. Goodbye.
Too bad.
That was fun though. Let's see here. I want to check some stuff. Master volume.
Extended timers might be nice.
I don't know, for people that are slow like y'all self.
Yeah.
Wait, post-game sharing. Allow room. Oh, you can do more. Oh, it's just 8 players. All right, we're going to keep that for next time. Sorry it froze. Blame the game. Blame Jackbox. Screw you, Jackbox. Too fast
What
for
the
you
heck?
on the fiber.
What the heck? My rhyme's too big.
Hey, no, that was fun as hell. So we like the games. Maybe even we could play another game of Drawful. It would be like a Drawful raps would be sweet. You have to draw your thing first, and then you got to rap a little bit
That would be
later.
good.
All right. Well, it's fun to always play something new with y'all. Thanks for hanging out for that particular version of the game.
Yeah.
Let's jump in to the next part of the night, which is the Game Boy game, right?
I feel like this is great. We're coming in pretty early. You know, we got an hour. We got an hour and 20 minutes.
Which we typically are at the an hour time frame to make this happen. So what are we going to talk about?
So Do you want to do like some of just like quickly the progress that we did, like of little things? And then I would like to spend a majority of this time like actually kind of planning out this level that we're doing.
Absolutely. So let's jump into where we've been and then where we're headed. So let me close up some of these windows here. We got that done. And what do we need to open up?
Some of the stuff that I downloaded, right? Or put onto the Google
Well, you know
Drive?
what? Let's first start with the... I guess we can... Oh, yeah, we can open it up. We have Photoshop open. Forgot about that. I feel like I should put Game Bob in there, but there we go.
Yeah.
Let's get my layout set up.
So part of this that Adam had been talking about is we needed like a cover art for this. Like, one, because we were going to put stickers on some of Kylia's stuff. 2, because we just needed it for like promotion of the game. And 3, like it would be neat to kind of see what we're at in sort of pixel style and see what that looks like in, you know, AI generated stuff. So we were coming up with things. We sort of had kind of what we wanted. And this is definitely a case of this. A majority of this is AI generated, but not at the same time, right? It still took like a couple hours of compiling it together to get it right, which I always feel like is some of the most interesting like parts of it. Is we didn't generate this, you know, out of DALL-E. All of these are DALL-E images, but they're all combined together in a sense.
Which I thought was a great thing to show to everyone, because I've explored this file. So we're in here, and so you see these layers off to the side. You spit it out in AI and you're like, oh, look, I got something great. But look at all the work that Ryan did. And so there's nuances that you don't really see. Like most of the shadows and things in there, Ryan's like, to sell this, like to make it feel real, is you got to put those in there. Like, at least, am I right? Is that some of those areas that you...
Part of it is like the vignetting, because what I was realizing is I was generating these backgrounds for Roby to be in, and I was like, they're too complex. They're taking away from seeing him in the foreground. I need something that's just like sort of empty in the middle with kind of hints of what the place that we're in along the side. And so when I got one of those, I was like, great. But then I also need to fade it out, you know, darker in the background so that he really stands out as the foreground and the background kind of lays back in. Which, you know, like, so a lot of that was even too like the shadow of the skull, right? Because like, you know, part of it was I needed the skull to be sitting on a barrel. And I was like, okay, great. Grab one of those barrels from the background. The problem is those barrels from the background look like background barrels. Like they're not detailed enough. And so I went in and I took one of the background barrels and I added that into DALL-E and went, generate me barrels that look like this one. And then I just did it a million times until I got one that looked like the background barrels, but more, you know, the same sort of color and style, and just kept feeding it the best ones that it came back with until I got this one. And I was like, that looks like a forward facing barrel of the ones that are in the background. And then the skull was from a random Roby that it got generated. And I was like, hey, that's an actual Cyclops skull, because DALL-E hates making Cyclops skulls. It loves making normal skulls with glowing green eyes and Jules' eyes, but man, does it hate it. So when it made one that was in the same style as our Roby, I was like, great, now I just need a jewel to put in its eye. And then so generated a bunch of skulls with jewels in their eyes until I found a jewel that went with the style and was like what we wanted. And so then integrated into that. And then the Skull Bob sign at the top was actually, it's funny, I downloaded some of the reference photos if you want to look at a couple of those. Like, the Skull Bob sign was actually very square. It was like stacked on top of each other. And I kept telling it, like, no, I cannot have it stacked on top of each other. I love this one. I need it all written out in one long line. And man, it was having such a hard time doing it, or would change it into things that I didn't like. And so I was like, fine. Like, I think I have it in some of the things in here, the actual Photoshop file of the Skull Bob sign, because it's basically me just sort of very rudimentarily like pulling it all apart, having it be sideways from each other, and then just cloning pieces of it or copying and pasting pieces of it into there.
I don't see it's in this particular version.
It's in its own Photoshop file.
Oh my gosh, you had your own version of it.
That Skull Bob sign had its own Photoshop file with a dozen, or 20 layers in it to make up that one. And then Adam was like, hey, maybe it shouldn't have the circle at the bottom that has a 5 in the middle of it. And all of that. So basically this was like us bringing together the pieces that we liked. I don't know, like on Discord, I think everyone has access to that. The Skull Bob's like,
I think they do.
So I think everyone has that. If you go into the the AI suggestions part of it, you'll see the like, do you want to, I think some of them in the reference, if you even just want to show that one. There was just, there's only a couple.
All right, let's go. Let's
You
go
can
into
do it on the Discord.
No, we'll go into Discord. It's worth showing. So it's an idea and suggestion. Oh, did we go in the?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh yeah. We'll go about talk. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's start from the very top. So I think this is where I was like, this is the one that started
started it, which I really loved, but it was like too much of a kid.
Yeah, too kiddish. And then we were like, how do you get it older? And it got to like stupid Star Wars somehow.
And I stopped being like, I don't care if it looks like a Game Boy game. We'll put it into the Game Boy style afterwards, because it kept doing things like this one. Right, that was like making him into a Game Boy, and I was like, stop, don't even care about Game Boy at this point. Like, don't even. All I need is this type of character with it.
Look at those Cyclops. Oh my god!
Trying to get it to do a Cyclops, it always would do like one big eye and then one small eye, or one eye is gold. So it did it a little bit, and so then I just sort of Photoshop, go into Photoshop, remove all the background, or cut out the skull and remove the backgrounds that I wanted, and the skulls that I wanted.
They got one. There was one Cyclops. Nice.
Yeah,
nailed it.
There was a couple times it was getting.
Yeah.
Like I liked that one a lot, but it didn't go with the style of our original Roby.
No.
Like very well.
I mean, it looks good. He looks too I don't know, like
swarthy. He looks too like cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like a sweet Italian.
Yeah, like he feel he's got like the open shirt and everything. I like ours that sort of looks like, and even he looks too cool. There was like,
this one was kind of cool. It was totally the weird little hand thing.
Yeah,
going
I
on.
like the idea of him having his hand on top of it. The skull is too big, but I like that style.
It's like he has a problem there. PS4.
PS4 decided to come up with.
Yeah, that one just nails it.
He's good. Yeah.
Yeah, what is Rapif?
Yeah, because it didn't know, right? It's just like
Rapif.
Game Graham at the bottom.
It's great.
But it was doing some cool styles. Like once I got it to be doing basically what I wanted, I was just sitting there and rerunning it over and over and over again.
Yeah, I said it looked like a romance model. I can never type. Jeez, I'm terrible.
No, well,
this looks great. No, it was a great little. I'm glad I got to see all the things that you had gone through, because it was helpful to see that. And then you went to the backgrounds, right?
And I went to the backgrounds, and I was generating ones like this for a long time and sort of putting them into the background, and they were too complex. It was taking away from, like, they needed to be in the background, and they were like trying to really take your attention.
Make that the thing.
Yeah. And so I really wanted something that was like empty in the middle. So I was telling it like mysterious empty middle, and that's where I think we got like the clouds and everything.
Yeah. I noticed one thing, if we go back to the Photoshop, now that I'm looking at it, we may have to play this, is like you have that little shadow under the S on that left.
Oh, see, I switched that out on one of them.
And then there's this little like thing, which I think used to be under here, because I'm looking at this one right
between
now.
the L and the B was always there, like, because it's the top of his skull, right? So I need to remove that from it.
But I mean, to take it from stacked to this, I didn't even notice. I just like he did the thing. It looks perfect. So the other thing too is, at this point we were getting to I went into the other Discord chat for GB Studio, and I was like, hey, how many people have put Game Boy on the right?
Right.
And then folks were saying like, you probably shouldn't because like, yeah, you're going to be a smaller release, but it's like, you just shouldn't do it.
Sure.
And then I started looking, there's not a lot of people that were doing it. There's some people that were doing demakes of games were doing it, but it was already an IP that they were just like taking. So they were just probably like, hey, we don't have anything to do.
I'm already breaking a lot of copyrights here.
So I was kind of like, I don't want to like mess with that. So here, all right, here's, you may have seen it, but here's the reveal of the new name that we put. Game Bob by Nintendi. So I'm gonna be putting that onto the site. I think that's a great way to do it.
Totally.
It has
got the Bob. It's got Bob in there. Like goes good. Yeah, I like that one.
It was better than what was I trying to do earlier? The Gomboy, which
Gomboy.
I think it was bad, but is it way up here? Shoot, where is that?
Come after.
No, ideas and suggestions. It must have been coming after. Yeah, Gombe. I mean, it was an attempt.
Totally.
But did you notice this, by the way? I thought this was cool, just to show it. Do you know what this is? This is the SVG of this.
Oh, nice.
So when I put it in there, it just put the code for it. So this is the code that makes the arcs to make this. And then I just thought that was a neat little thing it did. But yeah, I love it. I think we nailed it with this. My crappy version, I was like, Ryan, help me figure out how to make this better. And you did.
Oh, well,
you put it
just
right here.
Bigger.
Well, bigger at the bottom. Well, and one of the things that Game Boy does all the time in the lower right-hand side is they do put their logo. Like they usually would say like, new on Nintendo or some little like burst graphic right there. So I was like, we got to put the double drop down logo on there. Sure. But I didn't want to put it next to Nintendo or any of the other stuff. So it's Game Bob. That's how we're going. I love it. Nice. Looks great.
Okay. Do you want to switch over to sprites?
Hells yeah. I'm excited about this one. So Ryan, while I get this going, we're on A Sprite, right?
Yeah. But you could also do it. Well, yeah, that's true. Do it in A Sprite. That'll be better.
Then you can do a show off of this. Yeah. Are they in this reference folder or where are they? I have to go download them. Oh, I have to go to the sprites. All right, you tell us what we're about to see, and then I'm going to go get them for us.
Yeah, so part of this is we have kind of the main bar built, but we didn't have many characters built, or we sort of had their almost like T-pose version of it, just like their standing there version. And one part of it that we need AB, which is one of our main characters. He's the alien biologist known as AB. He's going to be like passed out, or there's like different states of him that we need for the tavern level. And so we have a normal one of him just sort of standing there, but we needed one of him kind of like passed out, and I wanted to do a slight animation just to sort of see like, can we get that in? How does that work? Right? Like, it's sort of to pass it over to Adam and then be like, hey, if I wanted this animation to just be going occasionally in the background, like for this moment, how would you implement that into the game? So I did that. And then I also wanted to be able to do one of him then at the bar, because what I would think is like you would go to him at the beginning and he would be sort of passed out and you'd be talking to D mostly. D is the bartender and sort of the little bit of the love interest of Roby. And you'd be talking to her and she'd be like, hey man, who's your buddy, dude? This guy's like passed out. I can't get him, to do anything. And you would go and do some stuff. And then when you came back and you gave it to her or you interacted with her again, then he would be in a different spot, and be more like, hey, I'm sort of up and ready to give you, more interest in the thing. And he would sort of start becoming the character.
I haven't seen this, by the way.
Nice.
This is a reveal to me.
The reveal. So really all I did is I did a passed out version of him that sort of looks up and kind of like blurrily blinks and then passes back out, which really is just 2 frames.
So my question is, you want this on random, or do you want it to be like when you interact with him, he does it, or something?
I would sort of rather it just be random.
All right, let's look at this one. This is so this is it. This is the reveal. I have not seen this first. So
do you want to show our guy like what AB looks like
that, right?
Oh, well, I guess that's the other sprite. So this is the one of him and D basically at the bar together.
Which I can open the other one as well. Like, you just want the regular version of
just like him standing there.
All right, let's do that. Sprites. Did I call him AB? Oh, I called him Alien in this one. Alien Default. This was him.
So that's him. He's got sort of the bag with him, which I like. And he's sort of, white hair, messed up hair, big glasses.
No
right?
walk cycle. Nothing,
no walk
right?
cycle. Nothing yet.
And he's in the start of our game. I wonder how quick this would go. But just to get you the context of what you've seen up to this point. What was that?
He's got the Drew Carey vibe to him. He feels a little
yeah.
a little heavy, a little like big glasses.
So here he is in scene 1, and so I'm building the scene, which should be faster than it's going right now, but we'll get there. So, all right, here we go. Here's our first scene with our alien, just so you have kind of a context of what we're trying to create here before I even see it.
That's him, like just sort of walking around or whatever, or sliding around because he has no walk cycle.
But you can talk to him because you can go up to. I love that. That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah.
So then. Yeah, because then if you go in this room, what we're trying to do is you got D in here, just to give you context of where we're at. So there's D.
Yep.
That's it. So none of the tables, none of the other stuff has anything filled out. So I suspect you're trying to get him on this table.
Yeah, like what I thought is that she would be over there, right? And she'd be like, go talk to your friend or figure out something with your boy over here. And you would sort of go up and investigate, right? And then he would give you a little bit of sort of drunkenly whatever. And then you would go back to D and be like, hey, something weird is happening with this guy. Like maybe get him a drink to sort of, hair of the dog, this guy.
So we're starting with this one, right?
Yeah.
Is this the one?
So this is the one of him just sort of, so you can play that. Like basically it's just 2 frames, but like with the animated eyes. And I just thought he could be sitting there, and you would know because he would be animated and stuff that you'd be trying to talk to him, and his word bubble might just be like all periods or something, right?
If you talk with him, he would have to come up, or if I did it random, I'm trying to think of random, like there's some random ways you just like pick a random amount of time and then do the thing.
And I don't know, because this is keyframes and everything, but I imagine what you would do is say like, hey, at a random time, play this frame, right? Which is him back up. And then at some point within when he's up, play the frame of him blinking, so it'd be, because I kind of think about it as somebody being like, oh, what? Like, and just pass it back out.
Oh, I love it. So it's a great way to like dress the scene up. And I'm trying to figure out how I would make him like fit into that scene. So brain's thinking right now. All right.
So if you go into the A sprite of that, like he's his own, like you can remove, like if you like turned off the background, right?
Yeah.
Like he's his own little, just like guy passed out there.
It's funny because the eyes, as I think about that, I don't even need a frame of his head. Like I just need one frame of his eyes blank.
Yeah.
And then I can use a different frame to like fill in the eyes. I have some ideas on that. I'm thinking of the saving the memory thing. So no, that's great. Okay. Do we have an animation on this one?
No. So my next one was going to be him drinking, right? Like that was what I was hoping to get to, but I didn't get to it. Like, so what I suspect now is like, this is later on in the level when you've gone and done something.
Right.
You've completed some sort of thing. You've gotten the shovel or you've gotten the double jump and you've gotten something and now you brought it back and you're like, oh, hey, now that I've gotten those things, I can see that like he's gone over and now is talking to D or something like that. And so then when I talk to them, they have different dialogue options and stuff like that to be doing. And D gives you the next thing that you need to be going, or he gives you the next thing that need to go and do in this area. Like that's kind of how I was thinking, is like that's how you maybe as like the platform designer could be like, right, okay, I know I need to like make him disappear now when something happens and reappear here with these new dialogue options when X, item is found or something.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I've been trying to think about it because the more deeper we go into this, the complexity of this whole thing gets into it. So I know I'm going to talk this out just because I'm thinking about it right now. Each level is like a variable. and maybe I'm gonna see if this makes sense to you. So you're in first level. So you're like, level is the variable. Like think about that holding a number. So then level equals 1. And so when level equals 1, here are all the parameters that will happen. I said it right?
Yep, parameters. So like one of those would be passed out guy.
Yeah, so he'd be like,
Right.
when level 1, he's passed out, D's walking around,
Yeah.
and then while he's passed out, he only can do this, this, and this. And then there's something that triggers that says, now you're at level 2.
Yeah,
and then
which
you're
would be getting an item, if
Right.
I had to guess, right? Because
Right.
that's what you need to be doing. Because we're gonna have
do
platforming
something.
levels, or we're gonna be doing stuff, and D's gonna be sending you out on things.
But you have to be far enough away. Like if you go in the first room and go in the second room and do something, like, and then he just pops in there, like you have to be like
No.
completely out of it.
Well, I think it's gonna be like you're gonna be 3 rooms away.
Yeah,
When
okay.
when you get that when you get that one, and so then when you come back to this room, now it's this scene.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, no, it makes sense. So then you click to level 2, and then it goes to all the level 2 things, and you're like,
And it's almost like level 2 of the tavern is now this set of dialogue boxes and.
well, it's not only that you have to say like hide this person,
Yeah.
so he's not there because this is
Right.
a whole different actor. You got to
Yeah.
think about it. Like these might as well just be whatever it is because it's
Totally.
completely different. I think I have some ideas on how to make that work.
And say like before, it would be nice if Dee was walking back and forth, and when you talk to her, she stopped. But maybe she doesn't need to stop or whatever. But then on this case, it would be nice if she was just sort of like sitting there as if she was talking to AB, right?
Right.
Like she's like, "Oh, we're talking." So then when you come up, it could be her talking and him talking or something like that, right? And they're going back and forth and telling you information and new story bits and where to get the next tchotchke or whatever.
I love it, and I think this is the next place. And I think what we should probably do in just a minute here is I want to see if I can integrate that so you could see from what you give me to right now. If I could put it in there, maybe take like a 10-minute break to
Sure.
go into that. I wouldn't even say break, just like a design session
Yeah.
to show you what that looks like. As I think of that, one of the things I wanted to get to is like the overarching story, because I think we've gotten really detailed on this.
Yeah.
And so maybe to help everyone that's been part of this story, and we've been like so hyper focused on barely incrementally, like now he's passed out, now he's there. Like we're almost still just in like the trailer of episode 1, but the whole arc of the story, maybe just give like some hits from the last 15 years. So 15 years ago, we had a pretty big story. And so I'm going to pull some stuff from memory. You go from memory, and we can, and it doesn't even have to be what's in the game.
Sure.
But I think it would be great for us just to kind of vibe on what the story looked like and kind of go from there, if you're good with that.
Totally.
So we're going to go over here for a second and just talk that through, and then we'll jump into GB
Yeah.
Studio. So when we originally conceived Skull Bobs, I was trying to think like, how did that even get to like being skulls or like any of that? Like, why was Bob in the title, or how did we even get to that area? Do you remember that?
Yeah. So I know that like, we were just going back and forth of like, what is the interesting aspect of the game that we were going to create? And I remember part of it was, I love the, like, Adam is big into skulls, right? Adam is big, like he has a bunch of stuff here. So that was like an interesting thing that we thought could be a cool visual aspect of it. And I did a drawing of like a guy with like a big skull on his back, like strapped to his back. And it was like a Cyclops skull. And I remember being like, that is just a cool visual of that happening. And we had the idea of enemies that would also be using skulls. And so then they had skulls. So they would have like, tanks with skulls, like powering their weapons and stuff like that. And that's where the skull became a power item, right? Like it's a thing that is powerful. People want it. People use it to power things. It's some sort of something. And then that's where Adam was like, oh, maybe it's this super powerful, like life-giving skull. And that's where it came up when, we have an episode 0 where the grandfather is a big explorer, and he finds the skull in a cave right as he's like dying from exposure, basically lost in these mountains all by himself. And he finds the skull, and it just like revives him
by touching it.
He just touches it. It revives him miraculously, and he sort of has these weird visions, and he pockets the skull, comes back, gets to the top of the mountain, becomes super famous as this explorer, and then like becomes obsessed with this skull that he found, and creates a tavern around with marketing around the skull, and brews this like very specific beer that becomes like world famous, or at least regionally famous in the United States as this amazing beer. But he becomes also this recluse that like wants to study the skull and like thinks it's this amazing, something, but it's just this wacko, and nobody, like, science can't figure anything out. They just sort of think everyone just sort of thinks it's a marketing gimmick.
And I think that was the thing too. It's like, it was like, oh, there's this skull, but it's kind of like a fake skull.
Yeah.
Like it's always been
just
like,
a
yeah,
thing.
it's a thing.
He found it, and it's whatever. Nobody really knows what it is, and it's just sort of, it's part of this beer legend now, and that's basically it. And so where our story picks up is the grandfather who is the adventurer, Robert Decker, has just died, and his only living heir is Roby, the grandson, who works at the bar, like is sort of like runs the bar kind of, which is the old school tavern that is almost like just a tourist attraction at this point. The real stuff is like they have a whole brewing operation that brews beer and sends it out across, the United States, or at least like some region or the world. Right. But it has this whole thing around Roby, or, Robert Decker, who found the skull, and it was this whole weird thing, and he was an adventurer. So there's all this like, clippings of him and all this like nostalgia towards him that people come to the bar for. So the grandfather dies, and Roby now has to take over the bar, take over the entire Skull Bob's brewing like empire at this point, which he is not ready for. He's just kind of the bar
and
owner.
I would say like the probably the other part's a little bit more on autopilot, and it's really like his vision was like, how do you get this bar like back up to speed, and people actually coming into the bar.
Like he's the kind of boss, and a little bit of his one little piece that he feels like he can control, which is that tavern, the old school tavern that has tourists in it, right? And serves Skull Bob's beer. But now he owns this entire thing. And literally the game picks up with like, he was at the wake last night, and he's come in the morning after the grandfather's wake. He now owns the entire Skull Bob's fortune, and whatever that means, but he's sort of coming in to start the bar and get the bar going just the same as he normally sort of always does, and grappling with all the stuff that's happening. And so he comes in, and the only person that's in there in the morning to start it out is Dee. And Dee is our other main character. She's a pregnant bartender that works at Skull Bob's and works with Roby and knows him.
Is that, I mean, it was kind of always Roby's kid too, is like in the original story.
No, it was his wife in the original story.
Wife, girlfriend, yes.
Like, or his girlfriend, yeah. And I had sort of separated them a little bit so that they could sort of come together perhaps more at the end. But I like the idea of somebody who could ground Roby in his old life, which is just, he didn't have any money. He was just the guy who ran the tavern that his grandpa was super famous for, And her sort of giving him crap that like, now he's this rich, or not even rich, or just like he now owns this entire thing that he didn't have any idea about, before.
And so to go back into the history, so like I think you're getting on to where we're at.
Yeah.
Generally where we're like pivoting to in the prior story where he was like the wife or the girlfriend and pregnant, like he's at the bar and things are going on. And he has this commercial he watches.
Yeah.
And they come out and you're like, and it's not a great commercial.
Yeah.
And then you come back to the bar and he's like, yeah, we spent a lot of great money on there. And this alien guy is kind of like, whatever. But then it kicks on to news broadcast of some like alien stuff going on.
Right.
And what we're alluding to is like the alien stuff happened, but the alien is sitting there right in front of him, but he is, you don't know it yet.
Yeah.
And so there's something going on, and Roby's like, oh crap, I got to get home. I got to go check out D. What is going on with this thing that's happening in this town?
Yeah.
And so as that happens, the skull somehow activates. And this is not necessarily the game itself, but I think we're going to be juggling some of the elements as it like starts to activate because these aliens came in and did some stuff.
Something about the grandfather dying made the skull like, it broke down the force field that he had around or whatever, right? Something with the grandfather dying allowed the signal of the skull to go out to the universe. And it's we say in the thing that it's like a powerful thing, right? That other people want. And so what we have is like an alien who happens to just be like I sort of think about him as like a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy type alien that's just kind of out there. He's a biologist. He's doing things out in the universe and just happened to be by when he got the signal that this crazy skull happened that is amazing is on this podunk planet of Earth. And he's like, oh man, I could get down there and be like one of the first people to be getting this thing. Like those are so rare. And so he comes down and just sort of blends in with the humans. And he's like, I'm just going to sort of follow my little wristwatch and see if I can find where this skull is. And that's sort of him. And he ends up at the wake of the grandfather and gets super trashed and passes out at the thing. And then that's where he and Roby connect at this morning.
And I think that's the cool part is he's like taking the slow roll, trying to play Roby for it. So if I could take a moment to like talk about the skull itself. So I'm not going to say this is canon yet, but I wanted to say one of the perspectives of why does this thing give life? What is this thing about the skull itself? So here was at least the rundown of what one of the eventualities were, is that it's actually still alive.
Right. And
these spaceships would be sent out in in the universe, and they would land on habitable planets. And then the skull was supposed to the land, and then the skull would somehow like get on the planet, revitalize the planet, and then the alien would grow back around the skull and it would repopulate the planet. So it's actually a being that it comes out of there. And so that is kind of where we thought that was. And that, there was probably, that's why it was so rare, because they sent them out. It was like an ancient alien, but the lore was that each of those skulls were super valuable because not only could it regenerate the whole life in this alien that comes out, but if you didn't do that and you kept it from regenerating, it would give you all this other kind of abilities.
It could give you powers, or it could, make you live forever or whatever, right? And so it was super, that anyone would definitely want. And so part of the story was, so they would meet together, and the alien would basically tell Roby like, hey, that skull that you feel like is just this marketing gimmick, like it wasn't. And your grandfather, who was maybe just sort of like not super attentive to you, and maybe you have mixed feelings about, like, and now that he's left you things and he's dead and like all of those feelings, like he was trying to do something about this, and you're in trouble, and this bar is in trouble, and D is in trouble if you don't like get on this and do something about it right now. And why don't you go check out the skull? Because, I think that one that's in this display case up in the front, probably not real. And so that's when we have him, and he goes and looks, and it's like made in China or something like that, right? And so that was just the display case one. The real skull was being experimented on by the grandfather, and that's where sort of level 2 comes in, where you're battling through the brewery / warehouse, right? The aliens are getting there. They're starting to show up and want this thing. Maybe probes or some kind of alien that you're like fighting at that point, and you're basically battling through your entire warehouse system that's in the back of the bar that's, bottling beers and moving it along treadmills and doing stuff. And you're sort of fighting aliens, and you're figuring out what the hell was this grandfather doing with this skull. like throughout all this time.
Or what are these coming like, at me? Like I have to fight this craziness off. Like,
Right.
but you have a little thing. All right, this must
like
be
AB
around the skull.
and AB is telling you this is what's happening. Like, you know, the somebody is coming for this thing, and that's why all these aliens are here, or that's why all this stuff is here. Okay, so then you come in and you find the skull. It's like behind this facade of beer brewing equipment, because what is really happening is it's a Futurama Slurm situation where he was not actually brewing any beer in the traditional way that you would brew beer. It's basically this skull brings life, right? And what the grandfather found out was that, like, I can harness that, but only at the very minutest levels of life, which might be something like yeast. You know, and yeast is used to brew beer. And so like if I pour water and yeast and everything over the top, or put them in a tank with this stuff, it makes this amazing beer. And the grandfather was already kind of like into drinking and doing that party stuff. And he was like, this will kind of pay for all the research that I want to do, and I'll never have to go and work again. I can brew the stupid beer that everyone likes and I like. And then I can do experiments on Skull Bob's as it. So basically the entire empire of Skull Bob's brewery is just these vats of like Skull Bob energy coming out and brewing this yeast and brewing this
It's
beer.
all around the skull. And,
Yeah.
and it's seen, if you watch the episode 0, you see it in this like vat and you see
Tank.
these things. So it's really just like, it's been misused. So
It's been misused, and the grandfather never figured it out how to take it further. Okay, so final part. Now Roby grabs the skull out of there because the aliens are coming for it. It can't stay in its vat, you know? He straps it to himself, because I love that thing of like the skull being on his back with like leather straps. And that sort of powers Roby's like gun or something, that he can take out aliens or do something like more. And he kind of like, I don't know, bonds with it or does something, right, that allows him to progress further into it. And really what he's trying to do is he finds out that one of the big bad aliens is like some kind of mob boss alien, wants that skull, and is coming down and is basically just going to destroy the bar. Everyone is just going to get killed. He doesn't care. He's this bloodthirsty alien that just wants that skull. And so the third level is sort of battling through the grandfather's imbues him with skull power. Exactly. And so then the third level is you're battling through the loft, the presidential loft or whatever that the grandfather built for himself above the bar, and you're fighting the aliens, and you got the badass weapon now, and you're like getting through it, and you're learning more about him, you know, that like he was really trying to protect Roby a lot. Like you're sort of opening back up, and you're also bonding with that AB alien, right? Like you're sort of, he's like helping you and being like, yeah, we got this and we can get the hell out of here. And like, you're doing great. You're kicking ass. And you know, he's bonding with him, right? So we get through the entire thing, and we come out in front of the store, and the badass alien is there as the final boss of our entire game to kick your ass and take that skull with him. You beat the final boss, right? You know, whatever we decide how that works. You beat the final boss, and you're like, hell yeah.
Do we want to say what?
Do you want to say? We've said it before. We said it before.
We did. Okay, fair enough.
So you beat the final boss, right? You're like, yes, we killed him. Screw him. We got the skull. And, you know, you're probably all beat up or something like that, right? Because it took a lot out of you. And the AB alien is like, I'm going to betray you. I'm going to betray you and take that skull for myself. That's what he really wanted. He needed Roby to go and find it and get it. And, you know, he played the, you know, the friend and the father figure, you know, that Roby didn't have, and was like, okay, but now when it comes down to it, I need that skull. And so he steals it from there, right? And shoots off with it. And then I feel like that's when D comes out and is like, we got to go and get him. Right. And so they go chasing after him, and I feel like the stinger, so the betrayal is the big thing, right? You win, but then you get betrayed, and D's like, we gotta go after him. They find his old spaceship, you know, that he took, because he took the bad guy's spaceship or something that's now dead. You take his spaceship, and right as you're, you know, and you know the stinger is right as you're on the spaceship, Dee's water breaks. Like she's gonna have the baby in that thing. So it's like even crazier stuff is happening in game number 2, where you're now shooting off to the galaxy to find that alien and get your skull back, get Skull Bob back, but also Dee is now gone into labor.
So that part I did not know, but I love the idea, and I think
because you got to pay off her being in labor or her being pregnant.
100%, and so I think you nailed where the story arc hit. And one of the things that we got to at that point is that we knew that the story would then transition into like a different world or a different kind of like space battle at that point. And we're not talking about maybe spaceships, but you would just be like doing the platforming in a different adventure space.
Yeah. Well, but that could be the next game too,
for
right?
sure.
And then you'd be like, oh, maybe it's absolutely a different type of game.
Now the question was there's a couple things, and we're not going to answer all these tonight. It's like, is that guy really bad or is he really good?
Sure.
And then
totally.
What is the reason that he really truly wanted the skull?
Yeah.
And then if we went to it, like there's maybe this choice at some point where Roby realizes like this is actually a creature, and we're just like been holding him as this beer building things, and he has to be like, oh, I give up all the powers, or I actually like help it come to life, and we figure out what those next steps are.
To me, it feels like the second game is Roby and Dee in space, and like out, you know, sort of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy again. Like, what is happening? I have no experience to deal with any of this stuff, right? I always like the idea of that, like, Roby is basically super hungover during this entire thing. I always just like that idea of he had that wake before, the night before, and so he's hungover. But then, so the game number 2 is like figuring that out, figuring out why he stole that and everything, right? Dee having the baby in space. You know, like figuring out that space baby, and then carrying a baby around and trying to figure this out and do that with this new baby and everything. And then learning more about your past, learning more about what Robert Decker was doing with the skull, learning what the ambitions and the you know, stuff of the alien biologist, right? AB, why he did that. I imagine you realize something and then you come together and now you're a sweet trio doing something and fighting, you know, a bigger thing. Like, I like the idea of him having a redemption arc, right? The AB, and doing it for some reason because his whole planet was going to die or something like that, right?
And honestly, as we got through like maybe the third, if we had a third installment, or we had actually 6 episodes, but it was like episodic and not a game. But if we had the third kind of chapter, or whatever we want to call this, is that eventually you would come back to the bar.
Yeah, exactly. And it was about bringing it back to it and sort of trying to get your life back into the order. He and Dee would have fallen in love at that point, you know, and Roby would have been like, yeah, I'm going to settle down and try to like really take over this bar and do my grandfather justice, because now I've learned that he was doing all of that, you know, for my benefit or for my, you know, the bar's benefit, you know, both of those things. And
then as he has the like skull set up, he like accidentally pushes the crystal and everyone forgets everything, and he's like, I'm gonna go on this climb up this mountain.
Nice.
And then he goes,
well, because I would think that at some point you would say like, oh, how does he unlock the powers of that skull, right?
For sure.
Like he's figuring that out, or he's doing something and it helps the earth, or you know, who knows. But
so I think that gives you the much broader thing. Yeah. So we've been like so stuck in the bar itself.
Yeah.
And I think
because we're on the bar level, right?
We like wanted to give you the broader. And so the game that we're creating, we're not saying we're going to have a 2 or a 3. Like that would be like if we ever got it somewhere.
But I think it's good to have those ideas, because then they influence how you build the first game, 100%. Right? Like, because if you don't have any of that and you just assume it's just going to die afterward, you know.
So it's bar, brewery, apartment, and then fight boss, and that's where we're at.
And then final boss in front of the.
And I like it. It ends on a down note.
It ends on a down note, but also like a let's go get him, you know, like type thing, right? Like screw him. We're like confident now in our abilities, where at the beginning they were very unconfident in all of their stuff.
And so when our AI factory is building the next game, it's going to be a fully VR.
And I'm just like, just listen to what we wrote. Listen to what we did on, July 11th, 2024, and just make that game. Okay, do you want to with the last 20 minutes maybe, because I do want to maybe play one more time. Do you want to try to figure out some of the level of what we want to do for
I do.
What's funny?
No, Michael Gillen just sent me something that's funny. You should have put that in the Discord, Michael, but all right. We'll talk about that later. I don't know if you want me to just say that one out loud. Oh, that was fun. All right. No, but I love this episode, and this helped me because I think the two of us going back together, digging out of our memories of what those little pieces, because I forgot some pieces that you said, and I was like, yeah, that was like exactly what it is. So I love that. So as we get through this, now that you can get the arc, what are the fun little things that we're going to hit into to get there? Because like, I remember we were saying, first you got to learn the combat. That's why you're knocking a little rat around.
Yeah.
But then it's like you said, the probes in the brewery. So it's like, it's not quite the like aliens that are harder, but they're a little bit more of like, now I got to like beat them or like chuck a beer at them or do something a little different.
And that's what I was sort of thinking is like all the things that you'd be fighting in the tavern would be like rats, right? Or some real things. And then by the time you get to the middle one, when you get to the actual brewery, then it's sort of like maybe they float up atop and shoot you or something like that, right? Or they hit you or something. They move crazier. They're looking for you or something. If they see you, you die, whatever, something like that. And then by the time you get to the third level, you're just like straight up shooting aliens and making sure you're not getting hit by them.
For sure. All right, we're making this. We got to make this tonight.
Yeah, well, I was wondering how this exactly was going to work because right now it's keyframes.
Okay, so this is probably good because I wanted to do this live because too, like we're on the Crafters and Makers channel tonight. I think that we're in a different version of it. So let's talk about how I would take this into this, and so this might help both of us work better together because it is a bit of work to take this and transition it into the next step. So maybe this would help you start it. So the first thing that I would do is I'm going to go open one of my sprite sheets. And the one that I typically go to is just like the default Roby like sprite sheet. So I'm going to open this guy up. And actually that's not even the one. I want to do open. There's a second version I've done. It's Roby A. And I've had to change this out where Roby is spaced out and there's a reason for it. So essentially I've created these boxes that say, put whatever characters you create into these boxes. So the very first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to just save this as, and then since we're calling him AB, I called him Alien Default, but I'll go ahead and change him to AB right now.
AB.
So we're going to call him AB. And what does AB stand for, Ryan?
Alien Biologist.
All right, there we go. And so we're going to call him, like, what would you say the state is? If it was like, is it called passed out?
Passed out. That's what I called it.
Passed out. So I know he's called OCD, but the amount of different things I have to pixel perfection and then reference this name multiple times has to be like in a way that I can reference it and find it later down the line. So I got AB passed out as the A sprite. So that's what we're working on here. We don't have any other default ones. We don't need that one open, and I'm just going to keep the passed out. So we're like very, very simple. So in this one, I'm going to keep the Roby frame, and I'm going to add another layer. So we'll add that layer there, and we'll just even call this one AB passed out.
You're sort of covering up the layers with our faces, though. Do you want to make it smaller?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know if that will help. Oh, okay, a little bit at least.
Yeah, and almost at this point, it doesn't.
That opacity button is terrible. That looks like it should be a button to say okay.
It does look. It doesn't even look like it looked like a button. I didn't even realize that was a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So we close that out, and we should have AB passed out. So what this is essentially this Roby is done. I like to have it there as a reference of like which was the frame that I had in cloud like doing this. So what I would do is on this AB passed out on this very first frame. Is it just one frame that he's passed out on? Is it this? It's just this one, right?
Yep.
Okay. So if I go here and it's not locked, what I'd probably do is just copy it. So copy that one, and I'm going to paste it right in here. Now, one of the first things I would say is, how big is Roby compared to this? Is it scaled to like what Roby's size should be? I guess it does. It looks pretty scaled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because his legs are sort of like flopped down.
Okay.
Because he's short. You know, they're all kind of short.
All right. So we'll get that one there. We're gonna work on it in a second. So what's the next frame? What's like? Is it this one here where he looks up? Okay. So
looks up with like half slit eyes.
Got it. So then I'm gonna grab that frame. Now, right now, you're noticing I'm just chucking them on here with no. So first of all, I want to see like his back lines up, right? So where his back? So see how, okay, I'm going to zoom it in a little bit. So you'll notice that I'm like, I got to line this up, and I'm doing it by the eye. Thankfully it's pixels. So that looks about right. So this is where it's at.
Because his hand will stay at the same level.
His hand is on the table. His feet are there.
Yeah.
So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump him up one frame.
Yeah, because then he's going to go every time. Like I have him lifting his head up.
So I have to get this guy. So what I'm trying to do is notice how his hand is on a table. These squares make sense. These 8x8 pixels have to be kind of where they're at. So right now, those two frames together match, in my opinion. So they not opinion, but like you can tell that he looks up, and then does he have a blink?
Then he basically he just has a blink where his eyes are fully green as opposed to white.
So this is going to be the funny part. I'm going to take just the green, and I'm going to put that over here, which is not just the green, but it is
that's what his eye looks like.
Okay, so let's do this. Delete that. And so is his eye ever open completely white?
Not in this scene.
Okay. So I'm going to try this, and we're going to play with it in a little bit. Now, this one doesn't have to be perfectly in the right place, but I'm just going to put that little thing there. So that should create all the frames and possible things we would need for this scene.
Okay.
So I got AB passed out. I'm going to file, export, and what I got to do is I got to export him as now like actually, let me cancel out because I got to turn off that grid. You don't want the grid on.
No.
Otherwise, so you want it on this green background, and so you can see where at first I'm using this as a frame. So these those are your keyframes now. I've took what you had as keyframes and I've just split it out on a single sprite sheet.
Yep.
So now we can leverage them all. And then the grid I can turn off because I don't need that. And this little part we're going to see if we can use it in a little bit. And it's right in the middle of a square. So when I export this guy, I got to throw it into the right folder. So I have this folder that has all the sprite from A Sprite, but I have to point it to my A Sprite folder, and I'll save it. Okay, that's it. So now we can go over in GB Studio, and we'll just go ahead and like start creating it in the bar, right? So here's the bar scene. I think that's actually where it would be, like right around on this table.
Oh,
right?
But the table has a bunch of junk on it now.
Which for this version we can use it, but we'll take it out in a future version.
Maybe further down. That one only has two.
Doesn't have a chair though.
Oh, right. That's true. Okay. Well, whatever.
So we'll use this one for now. And the first thing that I would need to do is before I even chuck him in there, we have to set up the sprite. So then I go over to the sprites. And because I chucked it in there, as AB passed out, there you go. You have him at the bottom.
Nice.
There's that little sprite sheet we just created. So then the first thing is this doesn't fit that little box frame that I was just showing for. So I'm going to change the canvas size to, you have half canvases. That's awesome. That's new. That's something new because I'm in version 4 right now. Okay, so it's 48 by 48, I believe.
Okay.
Is that, it's 6 by 6. So what we're saying is in the passed out phase of Roby, we can do a couple things. The very first thing is his default state, and we're just going to make a simple one for him. So the very first part of it is I need to grab his sprite, and I come over here, and I drop it in. It doesn't have to be, it has to be like perfectly lined up. So that's the first state, right? And then he would like look up.
Yep.
And then like blink. So how many frames, and I guess we could go back to yours and figure out like how many frames does it go? So 1, 2, 3, 8 frames. So this is where if we were really going to build it out, I shouldn't have clicked from that. If we're going to build it out, you would just create 8 frames of this. So here's your little animation. So now we got 8 frames. And then what I usually do is I just go to this one and you can copy it. And you just go to each of the frames and you paste.
Okay.
There's not an easy way to do it across all of them. Sure. I'll just be honest with you. So, or at least that I've found. So then on this frame, he like looks up, right?
Yep. So
then we get that. And I think I can get it even bigger just so we could see it. So now he's like, huh? And was he up one? We'll validate it in a second. So you can kind of go like, huh? Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he's off back one by just one. So put it there.
There we
go. Huh? All right. Cool.
And then that's how many frames?
Yeah.
So is that so that is another 8 frames.
And then oh shit, did I do that right? Yeah. Okay. 8 frames and then he blinks for
2.
And then it's 8 more, right?
And then 4 more and then 1 blink.
Okay. And so we're getting complicated with the blinks, which isn't a problem. But okay, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go to that one. Grab it. Like, I don't know if I would go this complex with the animation, but it's fine for now. If it's like this shouldn't take, like, it's only
I was going to say, right?
Unique.
Like, it should only...
Yeah, it's 12 unique frames because we don't have that many tiles. And so here's where
that's where it's cool, right? Like that's where the interesting parts of it are in the animations.
Now it's 2 frames of him blinking completely, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think the only thing is one of his eyes is only 1 pixel. Okay, so what I got to do here is I got to go and make a quick change over here, and you're going to see this in a second. So I need 1 pixel of this. And I know you're like, wow, the hell are you going to use this? Okay, I'll show you. So this little guy, I want to put it, I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put it. I'm going to put it right there. Maybe we'll see. It's there. So I'll export that one. And that should have updated. I had it set up. Yeah, so it's 1 little pixel right there, right? Mm-hmm. So now we need 2 frames of him exactly like this frame, but blinking. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So let's do that right now. 1, and we're just going to zoom in. Oh, I'm zoomed in as much as I can. So I take this frame, and I literally can place that pixel, which is where? There?
Yep.
And then I get it again. You come back down here, and you place that pixel again. And then I come back down and grab this one and I place it right there, right?
Yeah.
And so now he has his eyes blinked. So we're at the 13 unique pixels. That is as much as this entire thing is going to go. So then he has 1 more where he blinks. And then another one where it's back over here where his eyes are open.
4 more. Okay, 4 of those.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then 1 blink.
Okay. And then that's this one? Nope. Wait, where's his blink? There it goes. 1 blink, right?
1 blink.
Okay.
Then 4 more open. And then pass
2,
back out.
3.
Or you could just not do anything.
Yeah.
You could repeat. Or maybe it needs to like end with him passed out, so then it would stay like that for a while. Because what I imagine is you would be like,
I see.
Play this animation randomly, between 1 second and 10 seconds.
Well, but the thing is, I could pause it on a frame too. I could have him pause on
frame
passed
1.
out frame.
Yeah.
And then play randomly the whole thing like for this many seconds. There's some other things that you're not going to like about this that you have to do. Because I have to think of the timing, like how fast is this animation? What's the speed of this animation and things that we'll have to consider in just a minute.
Whatever it was in A-Sprite, right?
Yeah, it's true. But I don't know if you can match it. So then he passes out. Maybe I just do like 3 of him passed back out.
Sure.
So copy that, and then he's in passed out mode. So technically this sprite right now should do all the things we needed to do. How come it's adding?
Keeps making new ones.
I noticed that. That's cool. I'm learning like you could actually
Just delete 28 through.
Yeah, here's the pain in the ass part. You have to come over here and then you have to delete frame up here. It just seems really like not the right place. Like you should right click it.
Yeah, and be like delete or.
But it's super. It's like it's a game, and I think they're wanting it to be very. Did I hit that? No. Okay. So there's our animation.
Okay.
So you can't
play it.
You can you can play it. I think right here. That's it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So there's our sprite. We set up our entire sprite based off your thing. So I have to recreate the animation. So what did that take? That took maybe 10 minutes or so. So now I go back into the game world and I say, all right, I want to add a sprite into here. So I go in here and I say, add the actor. And you just chuck the actor in there. And actually, it was the correct one.
Nice.
But weirdly enough, it's showing that... Oh, whoa. I know why. Okay, let's go back to... Okay, this is where it becomes a pain in the ass. I made that one on his idle right state. In this case, we have to change the animation type, and we're going to just say this one is a fixed direction. There is only one way this sprite... Like, it's never going to go left. It's never going to go right.
Nope.
And so that should fix it to where now we have a sprite of him sitting around there. So then we just got to like put him on the table.
Nice. I feel like it could work with the bottles in the background.
Yeah, it totally does. Like he's super drunk because then it overlays on top of it. So the only thing to do now is do a little bit of test. Now I would have to do like an interact state or like on initiate. Like if you didn't want him to start just running the cycle, all it's going to do is run through the cycle now. So we've created the sprite, we've created the actor, we've dropped it on the scene, and then down here it's saying that we have 70 sprite tiles out of the 128 because we're using GB Studio, the big one. Are you excited to see this in the game?
Yeah.
All right, me too. So let's see here. What will be funny is I want to hear the little squeak. It's my favorite part. I don't know why. All right. All right, let's see.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay, so speed is off.
Slower.
Yeah, the speed is off. So that's what I was saying, but that's working.
Yeah,
that looks
exactly.
great. It's doing the thing we
great.
expected. So if you come over to here, see where the animation speed and movement speed is up. Yeah, he's super fit. He's like, what?
He's hella hungover.
So how many frames per second was that? Do you remember?
It's in the A sprite.
All right, let's figure that out. Where did this one right? Where does it say?
It says somewhere because I've changed it before.
Passed out. Oh, it's down frames 20.
No.
Zoom level.
It's something just in here, like right click on it or I don't know.
Properties. No.
I remember because I changed it because I was like, ooh, you can watch it, faster or slower.
I think it was up.
Playback?
Yeah, there it is. Playback. Well, that's 1 times. That's just
1x,
like regular,
normal
but
speed. Is it not like it in?
But it's different because what is 1 times to this? Like is it per second? Is it what's the fastest rotation?
No, what's the fast rotation option at the top? I don't know.
That's a great question. I don't know.
Rot sprite.
So I mean, regardless, if we didn't want to do it, with like trying to figure it out. So here's how I would test this. It's a pain in the ass to like have it load all the stuff and do all that thing. So unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to do this, how I run this game is that I load all the variables on the title screen. So what happens is if I don't put this Roby in the start of this frame, it won't load any variables. It won't load any of the stuff, and the game will be essentially broken if you don't load it there.
Right.
But in this particular instance, I'm like, whatever. I just want to see if this sprite is loading. So if I go and I put it right there and I just run the game, it will show at least him just show up there and I can watch what's going on. And so what I didn't do, though, what I should have done is I didn't increase the speed. So let me do his animation speed. And I'll go like the fastest it can go to see how crazy that would look.
Okay.
And then what we'll do is we'll try it to the other one. So if you're wanting to watch it build, and Mike Azul, I was curious, did you see the debugger last time that we had? All right. Oh shit, it might not actually work because it might instantly hit to game over. That's actually a glitch. I didn't even know that was a thing, but we might be able to change it. Let's see. It's funny because I went and did you see that happen on the right hand side here?
Mm-hmm.
It goes to this other screen. So what it didn't allow you to do is change variables right away. Yeah, so what's happening is it loads the screen, but it sees that his variable is at 0 or his health.
Yeah, right. And
So
he's like, no, he's dead.
So he's dead. So it's like, oh, we can't allow that to happen. So the only challenge I'm going to have to do is I'm in this scene, I'm going to actually have to load his health. So I'm going to say player health, and I'll copy this event. It'll just be easier to copy it. And I'm going to chuck it on here, and I'm going to hope that's going to be enough. Paste event after, and we're going to run it. Mike Azul, I really do have like a coding question on this that I need your help with on how to run like an array and potentially put things in there. They don't really have arrays in this, but I'm trying to do some stuff with the inventory that I was curious on, so that if you picked up something random, that if you picked up a book instead of the key, it would actually put them in the order that you pick things up. All right, so let me figure out why this is. Okay, so on initiate, player's health is this. All right, so I'm going to have to really rethink this. I'm going to have to start over here because it's not doing the thing that I would want it to do. I'll have to figure out.
You can run into the other room.
I'm going to disable this one now. Well, the problem is, and I wouldn't say it's 100% a problem, but you have to run through the whole stupid first loading screen, hit that, go to next, load the next screen, then run through it. But it is what it is for now. I think it's, what is it? So as he gets hit, his player health decrements. If you're at 0, I don't know, I have to think the logic on that. It's the first time I've ever tried to put it in there since I put the game over screen in there. All right, so we're running anyway. So he's chilling in this first room. What are you doing over there, buddy? There's a duplicate clone of you over here, man. Woohoo! So the bitch is fast now. It's like,
he's like
put some
out.
Put some meth in his beer. All right, so we know 8 is crazy fast. We started at 4, so 3.75 to 60 frames per second. So it probably would make sense to do it double the speed. 5 is probably where you want it to be.
Even that might be a little fast,
but that's all it is. Like this, like you don't get. Is there a custom? There's not a custom. It's 3.75. It's 7.5. Is there a theme to that? Is it doubling itself?
I don't know.
4.7.
No, 0.47.
It looks like it's doubling itself up to 60. So there must be some doubling that's going on. Anyways, that's it. So you got the general gist of like figuring out how to get the sprite in, and so I don't know if that changes your thought process on how you would deliver a file or make that, like, because if I got the sprite file, like the laid out version of it, like if you get the animation nailed down and then you were like, here is the sprite file, like this one is 5 frames or this is this frame, I don't know if you would do many of those. We'll have to figure out if there's a version of this that you'd want to.
Yeah, because, well, like, mostly I'm just at getting to the point where I'm, like, trying it and seeing how it looks, right? And then we would be like, okay, that is a good one. Build that out into the files with the 16 by, or, the 6x6 tile set. And, I mean, at that point, you would just drop it in. So I'd probably animate it in A Sprite, and I would be like, here's the tile set. Build that animation again in GB Studio, I guess. I don't know. I guess I could do that, but
maybe I'm fine with building the sprite because then
that seems like the right.
There it is.
Like so maybe that's just it, right? It has to be set at 3 times. He's like warping from one spot to another.
Yeah, because he could be like alien like that. Hey, I'm drunk, but also over there trying to figure my way out.
I definitely wanted that idea of like you would just be seeing him at different parts, and like he would be sort of following you around, but not necessarily like actually following you.
So I love that this kind of was really successful. I think the beers on the table actually make it work. It looks he's all drunk.
Yeah, and because he's very outlined, right, and the beers aren't.
So there it is in a nutshell. I mean, I think we got. I love that we talked the story. I love that we did all the different pieces. We have a sticker that needs to be made of the cool art that's going to go on this. I think this is, and then putting the demo out so people can play it. I was anxious to hear. Did your son like it? Was he thinking it's going to be the thing?
Yeah. So my 14-year-old son has been playing all of the versions that we put out, and he still is like he had a hard time. He was like, I didn't realize that there was a full inventory that I had to equip like a thing.
Sure.
So he said, I saw Bop the rat and was like, kept trying to jump on him like a Mario level. And he was like, and I didn't realize that you needed to get the bat out to be able to kill it. He still can't do the jump with the exploding cans.
Yeah.
And he was like that either needs to be like explained, or he had the exact same idea that I had or that we had, which was like maybe those are just like for super special story bits or something, right? That it isn't like absolutely necessary to get to things, right? To get to stuff. But so here's what he did. So when I showed him like, no, you got to get the bat, right? And then he like he loved the platforming that you had on the left-hand side, right?
Nice.
He liked the idea of killing the bat, killing these things or the rat that was going through. He was basically like, it just needs a little bit more explanation of like what I should be doing, in it. And I was like, yeah, that's like exactly what we're doing, right? Is like, we're going, okay, now that we have this kind of little playground, what are you actually going in and doing? Oh, he said that he was confused in the ramp. He was like, I couldn't figure out it's like exactly where I was going up or down, and then he said you can fall from the top, like go to the top of this, and then like fall down, like, and he was like, oh, maybe there should be like something hidden there or something that shows you about what is, that you would fall down through it.
Oh, it's loud. Hold on. There you go.
There we go. Anyway, he was like, I think if you built it out more, and D was saying like, hey, go and get me this thing. And I had to figure out how to do that. And at the end, and he was like, basically at the end of every thing that D has you go get, you just earn like a little power or a little something, that then you take with you to the brewery. And so basically, so we were thinking like, you would have maybe at the very beginning, she gives you the cricket bat and says, there's a bunch of rodents in there that I cannot like get even past. Take this cricket bat and like, defend yourself and go get me this other thing. And then maybe you get her something, but on the way you find something else that allows you to do the dash. And then you figure out the dash, and then the dash is what allows you to then get the double jump. And so then by the time you leave this area, you have like the bat, the dash, and the double jump. And that's like everything that you use then on the next level until you get the gun, which is basically like the thing that the skull does, is sort of give you a shooty weapon.
Well, and that's what I was thinking, like maybe it's just the double jump and or just the dash, not both.
Not both.
Like it would be almost nice to just have one or the other.
To start with. Yeah. And then he was basically saying, and he and I were sort of riffing and talking about it, and he was like, yeah. He goes, I think you could do it where every time you get something, it tells you then to go back to D. And then D and AB are in a different spot doing a different thing. They've been talking while you were gone.
They're always at the bar.
And
the
like,
whole thing.
Yeah. And like he's drinking again, or she's telling him something about this.
Great way to think about it.
And so they're always sort of just back there until the very end of the tavern bar when you find out this is the thing and you need to leave. Then AB is like, all right, I'm going with you to figure this out. And D's like, okay, I'll stay here and run the bar, because we got to open up. Nice. Now you got the double jump. And And then you're like, okay, and then she tells you, hey, go there, go get into the brewery through the basement or whatever if you don't want to get caught by these new aliens that are showing up or whatever. And then you use your double jump and your bat to get into the brewery.
I love it. And you know what would be the best part is like when she has her baby, it's really like an alien.
Yeah,
no,
something,
just
who
kidding.
knows, like, right? Like,
where you been, D? Dang.
Yeah, right? We find out that she's been an alien there all along playing the long game.
AB and her are actually
oh man, betrayed again.
Oh, that would be bad. Yeah, so here's the inventory, which I did get working to do all the things. I didn't put a thing on every single one of them, but the thing is, if you get any of these out of order, like this is always the spot that I grab the key.
Oh, I feel like that's okay because then like, oh, there was something that was before that, or I'm missing something.
I like the idea that the levels or like the rows or columns or whatever are per level or
like,
something.
So you're
like
only
that.
getting 5 things.
So that it like has a little one somewhere, maybe like over here,
or
and then
a tavern or like a thing of
So these are the 5 things you get in this level, and you can get or collectibles or whatever. It's like this is everything that you can do in the entire game. Every one of these has a thing that you do.
I like that idea too.
But there it is in a nutshell. I know we're at 10:54.
No, hey, good. Get to the end, and now you got the key and everything. You gotta.
Oh yeah, I gotta get out of here. I like how it used to be really annoying, the sound of those. I don't know if you remembered it, but I love that. It's so good. There he is.
And I like the idea of clicking on him, and then he would be like, "Man," or something, right? Or like, his skull is,
Yeah. That's the best one. There we go.
Yay.
Skull Bobs. I love it. It was fun. It was a good night of kind of like, man, we needed the deep dive.
Yeah. And I think so next steps for Skull Bob's game. What I would love to do is I had a Trello board where I was thinking like, we need to know, say you're going to find 5 things, right? Like, where are those on our map? What do you need to do to get them? And are there any like, like we had pushing barrels, right? Like, is one of them pushing barrels a pushing barrel puzzle, right? Is one of them a...
Oh, I see. Like come up with the puzzle types.
Right? Like, is the first one a jumping around puzzle? And then the maybe the third one is a thing that uses all of your powers, right? So you got to smash a thing and jump over something and, do whatever. Like, so I think like, it should progress. Like, it should be harder each time, right? So that it's easy sort of for the first thing.
You can riff on the normal versions of what... Like if you had that puzzle of jumping, maybe the other one's like 10 times hard jumping by the time you get to the second one or the third one. So you have
or
like
you have to
gimmicks.
push barrels into a thing, which then allows you to make the hard jump, right? Like, so it's an extra little piece of something, or you have to push a barrel to find a thing, right? Like, I was thinking that could be something, where you're always sort of pushing barrels around to see if there is something behind there. And then, one thing that my brother, Trenton was saying is he was like, am I ever going to click on the stuff in the background? Like, if I don't know if it's there, like, am I just going to keep running around and doing stuff? So he was like, you got to do something where at the beginning you have people click on background elements because you have to, like, it's something that you have to do to progress the thing, so that everybody goes, oh man, I got to be running around and clicking on all of these things and learning stuff or doing something. Like, something needs to where you click on a background element and it doesn't just give you a text box. Something happens, something falls, or it opens up a path, or something that shows like, hey. And I was like, that is a great tip. Like, good. Yes, we definitely need that.
Yeah.
He was being.
I mean, he's given the.
We had like we were in a 40-minute drive and we literally talked about the Skull Bob's like first level the entire time.
So you have that written down. We use those tips because it's like like indicators. It's like teaching you is essentially what that is. And then, you need to go do that all the time as you build that out.
Totally.
We are coming more with Skull Bobs as we go.
Yeah.
We have 2 minutes. I don't know if we have time for
Are we doing a whole drawful thing
or another rap battle? I don't know.
One more rap battle. How long do those take? Like 15 minutes?
I don't know. Who wants to do a rap battle? Do we have enough time? Maybe we just do like the first round and shut it down.
We do one round a rap battle.
I don't know. It's really loud. Put it in one ear. All right, we're gonna do one rap battle. Okay. If you're still out there, rap with us.
Well, looks like we're gonna have a robot rap battle.
Let's hope it doesn't
glitch out.
Glitch. It would be funny if it was just you and I on the rap battle today. All right, let's do it. How many people? Oh, you want Drawful? This takes too long. This is the new one we're doing. We're just
trying to pretend.
We're doing this one tonight, and then we will do Drawful next time. I promise. If you want to do this. Oh, Mike Azul's in there. He's going to be dropping some raps. All right, Enemy, let's get her going.
Doors open in 3, 2, 1.
Big glitches. Are we just going to do the first round or try to do the whole thing?
Yo,
I think we should just do one round.
Okay, first round.
Try not to step on a brother.
Unless it turns out really good.
DJ Rach, tell him how we get down up in here. Hey, yo, big boy, you got to step to the side up in here.
Where are you? Never mind. Here's how you do it. We'll ask you for a word or a phrase. We'll use it to complete line 1 of your rap. You then write a line that rhymes with it. We do that about 2 times, and you have your 4-line verse.
4 lines all the time.
We hear him back, and we vote on that winner, which, honestly, you all are. Shadow, what you find out?
Thanks for nothing. We doing this. Robots or no robots. Get your words together. Time to get it started.
Okay. 1 round, y'all.
1 round. 2.
It's time to look at your devices. Follow each instruction that you see, and then you let them rhymes start coming off the top of your dome. Hit the suggestion button if you need help.
Gotcha.
About a minute left. Go, 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 go.
Can't use right for me to have us fill in your line.
25 seconds. So anybody trying to be thinking of the puzzles here. Get them rams going.
Come on, get your thumb out. Let's get it in.
10 seconds. 9.
Here's the matchups for round 1. First battle of the night,
All right, we're doing only one round,
get
y'all.
It started.
Okay.
Remember to hit those voting buttons during the rhyme. We need to know if it's hot or not.
All right, yeah.
Here we go.
All
My
right.
mouth's like a trumpet, my brain's like a trombone. I create melodies with thoughts that are my own.
Nice.
I'm dangerous, like a snake. I strike with precision, make no mistake.
Nice.
All right,
Okay,
peace
okay.
and love. Let's
can't.
move on. Next MC.
When I cut myself, shaving out Flo's boobs. No weak raps for virgin noobs. My lyrics are knowledge, better than physics. Tell your dumb mama she better learn these musics.
Oh, oh,
That was
damn.
okay. Wasn't the best I
Musics-
heard, but it wasn't
musics
the
and
worst
physics.
either. All right, now it's time for you to use your devices and vote.
Shit. Those were both good, but man.
It's like the wackier that you are, I feel like the better.
You had to go with the mamas. Yeah. Mamas was with the winner. Mike and Zil, you killed it. I was
Now
loving
we
it.
got our winner. Nice job, kiddo. I need my next two couple of MCs to step up.
I'm not much of a popo. I'm more of a ho-ho.
Nice.
Cover your heads, my beats drop like lifting. I'm like Santa and come are you gifting.
Oh, nice.
That was some good
Okay.
rapping.
All right, that's cool.
Good job, baby.
Grab the mic, yo. It's on you.
Killer with a heart of bay arches. Straight kicking it in my grandpa britches. My fans call themselves the Bahamas. While I be straight dunking their mamas.
Nice, of course.
Thank y'all. Let's keep moving.
Oh,
Time to vote, y'all. Who
I
brought
think
and
Heather
who
won that
didn't?
one. Hell yeah.
Oh.
Totally. That Santa joke was
Santa was
fire.
good. That was good. I like how simple the beginning part was.
Congratulations, Shorty. That was pretty decent. Good job. That's what
Are we
I'm
done
talking
then, or-
about,
Are we
y'all.
done?
Yeah, I
Is
think
it-
we are.
Okay.
What did you think of the game? I think that's the question.
Let's go ahead and check the scores.
I feel like you really have to start, like, whatever the first word that you put in, you got to be like, I got to know what I'm going to rhyme after that, you know? So you're like, you got to pick something that has like easy rhyming endings to it. But sometimes, like, you know, I put boobs for one of mine because it was just like, it needs something that's plural.
You just got to know you're going to rhyme with it. So,
Yeah,
hey, it was fun. We're going to play it again. We'll get some drawful on there in the future.
Yeah,
Thanks for
yeah,
hanging out.
totally.
It's 11:06. We're on good timing tonight.
Yeah.
Thanks for the hangout. We enjoy our time with y'all. So,
Thank you for hanging
we'll
out.
see you.
Appreciate you all.
have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Maybe I'll be playing some
Yeah. For
Dead
that Dead
Space.
Space.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, yeah.
Nice.